on the track, nigga. If you duck, hey, it's time for all the security. Get around. It's going down.
Yeah, well, I'm a cat tone, pistol holding nigga on your damn street. Stomping, jumping, bumping, every cork off in this damn thing. Throwing the balls, I pack these soldiers, screaming and bleeding from their nose. But when we start, that's where we make them niggas hit the flow. Ain't no game off in this thing. We be deep off in your party. Call my niggas get it started. And with niggas be the hardest. So if a nigga come and run they mouth just like a hoe, punch him dead up in his nose and stomp his ass out to the floor.
Yeah, we nucky and bucky.
Welcome back to the Why So Serious podcast. I'm your host, Brandon, and we are back for another Insecure review. So, of course, we have Stephanie, Lauren, and Devin with us. And, I think that intro was quite telling for this episode of Insecure. What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
What's up?
So,
would it be like fresh?
Does that make you want to fight, Stephanie, today?
It does not. It just made me start to cackle.
Nah, but you know, it made me come in the club shaking my dress though. Like I ain't got none, but I'm shaking them shits all day.
Nah, I'm shaking them.
They made me want to bust out into like a mean ass stroll. Like I hear that.
Stilettos, pumps in
the
club.
Oh man, that shit go.
So is that the best?
I mean, we got
best
Layla Ali
song, or is there another one that makes you more hyped?
Y'all go.
Is there another song that gets you more ready to fight somebody than that one, or is that the best?
I kind of like Ludacris's Move.
I like D.I.B.I.
Oh, and DMX Up in Here.
Oh yeah,
kind of like that too.
I like Cameron Confessions of Fire. Fuck you. That's always good.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of DMX, Bomani Jones did a whole article about why DMX was a bigger star in the late 90s than Jay-Z. And he's absolutely right.
He's absolutely right.
DMX was a very big deal.
Like Hov could never put people in a building like DMX back then.
DMX being on drugs was the best thing that ever happened to Jay-Z's career.
Yes.
So
100% true.
Before we get into the show, I wanted to ask Stephanie, what did you think about the versus battle on Saturday, Steph?
So it was the auntie big booby hug that I honestly needed. It was not a battle. It was literally just watching two friends enjoying each other's music and having the mutual respect and none of the sound problems and the most views on an IG live. It was amazing. I loved it. And then I realized that I like Jill Scott's music and I really don't know the names of songs.
Hold on. Didn't Tekashi?
I'm like, what the? I was like, what's the name of this song? I was like, listening, like, what's the name of this song?
Yeah. I'm not a Jill Scott fan. I realized that early. And I just didn't watch anymore. But I'm glad everybody else enjoyed it.
I realized that she made songs that I didn't even remember.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see any of it, Lauren?
I saw some of it. So I'm a very chaotic spirit, and I just wasn't in the headspace to like be at the moment. But I watched it later, and it was cool. I like Erykah Badu. Like I really like Erykah. They're both like they're like auntie hotep goddesses because they're like super like amazing, and they probably give great hugs, but they also have like some super problematic views.
Girl,
I love
waiting.
Love them. I was just love them anyway.
I was waiting for her to say something. I'm like, which one of them is going to say something? Ashley,
which one of them is going to say something? Because that's what happened with Little John during that battle. Like him and T-Pain, we were all saying, look how just, they aging gracefully, they're not problematic. And then they both ended off with like something problematic.
So for R. Kelly. And it was like,
yeah,
you're trying to enjoy this. It's like, come on, man. We just
not an
anti-vax. Enjoy. Yes, he was. Yes, he is.
Who's the anti-vax?
I think he also
Little John.
And Little John. He's talking about 5G too. I was like,
yeah,
what the hell?
Hey man, you get a good message. I mean, it's all about the messengers that tell you that shit. You know, to run with it. You know, that 5G shit is scary though. I mean,
it's not.
Shout out to Sprint. Finally getting us 5G.
No.
Oh my gosh, that is the best.
No, we're not doing this.
Come on, Sprint. Come through. T-Mobile, we in the building, y'all.
Nope.
I'm gonna get my 5G stuff. I'm gonna get my
Let me-
5G.
Before it started, it was really it was like they were going on about like a whole bunch of stuff, and I was just looking at all the candles, and I was like, why is Erica playing Bruce Lee in the background? Like I was so confused.
Because Jill, before this thing started, because at first Jill was on her live and then Erica was on her live. She was setting up, and then she's like, I think I need to go on to Jill's live. And Jill was playing, she was playing gospel music. Then I think she started playing Nikki Giovanni. I was like, oh, Lord, y'all, okay. I was like, okay.
Hey, man, they did it for the culture, y'all. I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy everybody.
It was like,
enjoyed that
it was
shit.
amazing. I loved it.
Because ain't none
It
of
was
that
like-
shit for me. None of that
But
shit.
I was like,
Hold on, you
I
don't
was
like
crossing
Erykah
I was
Badu
crossing my
songs?
fingers.
Oh no,
I hear
mean,
you, Devin.
again,
I got a chaotic
it's not for
spirit.
it's not none of that shit for me. I want y'all to have fun when y'all do that shit. None of that shit's for me.
I have a short attention span, so it's hard. Like if I could watch it on my TV or something, it would be different. But like having to solely just dedicate, like not scrolling on my phone and doing other stuff, that's a little hard. for me.
See, that's the thing. When I watched Babyface and Teddy, I did it on my computer.
Yeah, I had it playing.
Oh,
while
good
I,
for
was,
you.
I had it playing while I was playing PlayStation on the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
See, again, I'm glad all y'all could do that. I ain't really care.
So Saturday
be anywhere.
is Nelly and Ludacris.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not here for none of
Now
that.
that one
I'm
is kind of exciting for me because I used to be
kinda
a
like
Ludacris
it.
fan.
You used to be. You was
I was
in the
a
club.
huge Nelly fan. I was a huge Nelly fan. I was a kid. I was probably in middle school when.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one? Chicken and Beer and
Mhm.
Word of Mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Word of mouth.
Yeah.
So
I think
And
it'd be
Nelly
cool as long as
Bill
it's
and
found.
all that.
So what are the
Look here.
chances that Nelly plays Tip Drill in his 20?
Man,
He has
my
to.
gosh.
I mean,
has
if he
to play
doesn't,
Tip
he
Drill.
doesn't want to
Ludacris
win.
has to play Pussy Poppin'. But honestly,
You know,
Tip Drill
but
is not a
Pussy
better
Poppin', yeah.
song. It's just a
Yeah.
better video.
Right.
Yeah, Pussy Poppin'
Pussy
is better.
Poppin'
Like,
is the
nobody-
better song. It is the
Right.
better song.
Nobody cares
But
about
you
the
know,
song.
Pussy
They only
Poppin'
talk
is
about the
a decent video though.
It's
No,
not
it's a good video,
Tip
but
Drill.
I'm just saying it's not Tip Drill though. Like Pussy Poppin'
Tip
was
Drill's
reigning
iconic.
supreme, and then Tip Drill came out, and we were like, "What is Pussy Poppin'? What is that?" But the song, like if you listen to it
And
on
why
the radio
can't we get
without the
BET
visual,
Uncut during the day? God damn it, BET Uncut was goddamn legendary shit.
they should put
Because
it
it was
on
legendary
BET
because
Plus.
it's 3 a.m. I'm surprised it's
put it
not on BET
BET.
Plus.
They
So-
should put it on
Man.
BET Plus because they showing naked people on BET Plus.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
Yeah, they
Oh,
are.
They
wow.
sniffing dicks on BET Plus. Okay?
Yes, they was
Oh,
showing
like, is that
straight
a
up
whole
full
female?
male frontal nudity.
I said, okay.
wow.
I was like, wait.
I'm not gonna ever get it, but I mean, I'm gonna need them to put Tip Drill on there just so I could get it on my Fire Stick.
So
you know what I mean?
I don't know if y'all noticed, but one time on the show, we played Tip Drill for Mike, the video. And made
Oh, we
him
sure did.
And made him watch it on the show because he'd never seen it
Oh
before.
wow.
He was like, what's that? Have you ever seen it, Mike? He's like, no. And I was like, oh, Lord, okay.
Y'all didn't change that man's life.
And that was the year he went to a strip club for the first time too. Yeah, so that was cool.
And he spent way too
Oh,
much money
poor
at the strip
Mike.
club.
Yeah.
He texted us in the middle of the night. He was like, I think I just spent way too much money at the strip club.
If you ever had to say that with a strip club involved, you spent way too much money.
You had when you gotta like get confirmation from somebody else.
Yeah.
You might
If
have
you ever
done
go
too
back to
much.
ATM in a strip club, you are fucking up. You're fucking
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And you get more
I've
money getting that good old high fee. And it's like, it is $18 to take out this
It's
$20.
$30
What?
to take out.
What the yo? If it say
It's
$3,
like,
I can't even
what?
take. I don't even need it, y'all.
You don't
I
understand.
even need
Those ATM fees and the strip clubs are high as shit. You'll be like, what the hell?
Highway robbery, and they know
I never
it.
want to see titties that bad. I never. This porn is free, y'all. I don't know if y'all got the internet at y'all house, but I seen titties for free, real quick.
It's not the
Boom.
same.
It's not the same.
Get your girl to do something nice for you. I don't know. Shit, I don't.
It's not the same.
Still not the same.
Yeah,
Devin
not the
knows
same.
this. Devin is just saying this. He
knows. He's just
He's
being
trolling. He's trolling.
Yeah, because it's
Devin
not
lived in
like
Tampa.
no.
Okay, just so you know.
Strip club capital of the world, baby.
Strip capital of the world. That's it. I
and-
want to do a trip to. I want to do a trip to
County.
Tampa.
Real shit. In my county alone, like down the street from like the Tampa Bucks Bay Stadium, there's 50 clubs in that county alone. 50.
That is
and it's not that
insane. And I would lose my mind.
What I'm telling you is like there's a bridge over there that goes to St. Pete where they have strip clubs as well, and there's strip clubs at Clearwater. But in just that little ass county, there's 50 strip clubs. There's 2 black ones, and they're decent. They're decent though. So yeah, that's good. Good times.
Well, if you want to go see the pink penis, go to Tampa.
There's a Pink Pony. There's a place called the Pink Pony there. So yeah, that's
I'm sure it is.
It's down the street from the Buck Stadium.
Of course it is.
Yeah, Pink Pony.
The Pink Pony.
So we're here to review episode 5 of season 4 of Insecure, Lowkey Moving On. Listen to this. This is the worst synopsis I've ever seen. Issa works around the clock to ensure the event goes off without a hitch. What is that?
I mean,
That's all you need.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I mean,
That's it. Let's go.
I guess. Seemed like
And
You know what?
now
I
it's
have
time for
come
my
to find
victory.
out-
Cue my music. Win.
Oh Lord, here
Win,
we go.
win.
No. Here we go.
so,
already.
Stephanie, what did you think about this episode overall?
So I swear this is one of the better episodes I've ever seen. And just looking at the reaction to this episode and the feelings I had after, I'm like, oh, this writing. I gotta look up and see who wrote this episode because they did chef's kiss. This episode was amazing.
So Issa wrote this with a woman named Sarita Singleton.
Oh, I gotta send her some flowers
She deserves it.
because Sarita did that.
I'll go to Devin last. Lauren, what about you? What did you think overall about this episode?
Woo, child. Like, that's all I got. That's all I got.
It's so good. It was like, damn, this episode is good. It's like, God damn it.
It was definitely a lot. All right, Devin. Overall thoughts. What you think?
Oh man, as the crowd goes, wow, damn it.
No, they don't.
I was like, man, I saw it and I loved it. But shout out to Steph for getting it right about, going to Nathan. Shout out. I was like, you know what? That's
I'm
smart.
saying.
And then when I seen it, I was like, that made sense. I would have did it. So I love the episode. I love the blackness of the episode as far as like, even though with the block party, white people thought it was a farmer's market, but just the blackness of it and the realness of it was great. And I really enjoyed it. And then Team Fuck Molly forever. Yeah. Team Fuck Molly.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yvonne got on Twitter and she was like, Molly was trash this episode, but I'm glad y'all can separate me from Molly.
That's good though, cause I feel like she had to do that shit.
But she's low-key a little.
So, maybe
she's a little more
she trying to
Molly than
get-
she probably wants to admit.
Excuse me. She trying to get people out of her purview of people hating her. Homegirl, like, people still remember Homegirl went on the Breakfast Club was talking about stuff, the difference between Black Americans and Africans. I was like, girl, don't do this. We want to watch the show. We trying to enjoy stuff. Please be quiet.
Well, she was on the Breakfast
But
Club.
that's a real thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a real thing though.
But yeah.
She was on the Breakfast Club, so you couldn't expect very much.
The thing about it is, like, ain't nobody. Charlamagne is not. When folks say stupid shit on the Breakfast Club, he ain't making them say it.
That's true.
They just say stupid shit.
That
on
is
the Breakfast
very
Club.
true.
That's true.
But I feel like it's implied though.
He somehow gets
that you
them
want
to
to do
say
some
stupid
damage?
shit repeatedly without. He's not even that great of an interviewer. I mean, he's not terrible.
No.
But he's not great. But he somehow gets people to say outrageous shit.
You be
He's
like,
really
why
good
are
with
you saying
rappers
this
as far
here?
as to get the smoke. He's really good with rappers to get them to do the smoke. The gotcha comment. He's good with rappers and that. But other than that, he's never did an interview I cared for.
Yeah. Oh no, and I agree. He's not a good interviewer because he don't do no research. He had a at home interview with Kalani and asked her a question, and I'm sitting here like, if you did your research, you would know that answer. What the fuck are you doing?
But y'all know y'all be here for Dr. Umar.
We don't want none of his gifts or his donation.
Oh man. That
man
dude
is-
be
Or
they give that
Cheesecake
nigga too much
Factory
time.
days.
That man is fun.
It's like, whew.
As long like if you don't take him
Talking about getting free dinner from Red Lobster. It's like, nigga, fuck you.
if you don't take him seriously, he's
He's hilarious. He is hilarious.
If you can separate that people, the problem is people take him serious. It's kind of like
That's the scary part.
it's like Trump.
Right.
Like if Trump, I always
Mhm.
say,
Yeah.
if Trump was a TV character that played president, everybody would think that's the
Mhm.
funniest shit of all time. But
Oh, yeah.
because it's real, it's fucked up. But it's the same.
That's
thing.
why everybody like Alec Baldwin playing him because it's like, because one, He's not ad-libbing anything. He's literally saying the exact same thing Donald Trump says in all of his speeches and his press conferences. And
Oh, wow.
you had a laugh track, and you're like,
Yeah.
he's not. That's
it's
not
like
a
a
script. He
transcript.
literally is just saying. They're using like transcripts saying, "Here, Alec, go act this out." It's like, he's not really doing that much of acting, but sure.
He's just making his face, scrunching his face up. That's about it. But,
Pretty
yeah.
much. And I'm like, yo, that should actually scare the fuck out of us. But
Right.
Oh,
that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
it does. Yeah, it's very scary.
All right, so let's get into this episode, and we'll get to the end part, which we'll probably spend a lot of time on. So it kicks off with Issa at home, and the first thing I notice is Issa has a whack ass Android, and I'm like, Issa, you're supposed to be cool. Why you
No
have an
free
Android?
advertising. Well, no, because they do
that
have
girl
Apple.
don't have no job. I'm like, she
Okay,
don't have
yeah.
a
Oh
job.
shit, she don't got a job. Fuck, I didn't
Remember,
even
at the
realize that
beginning, she
shit.
said she didn't have a job.
But she get paid. She had to buy that expensive ass Samsung S12 or whatever. That shit costs
Because she's a
$7
property manager. It's like, she gets discounted rent, but
She could at least got her iPhone C. Them shits cheap.
I mean
Nigga
facts.
said
Points are made.
Oh, yeah.
But she got whack ass Android. She on IG, and then she scrolled past Nathan, and I said, "Look how I was like, they did a great job setting this up throughout the season because they had that
Definitely saw it,
throwaway
though.
earlier in the season, and then they said something throwaway about Nathan with Molly. It was like her and Molly talking, and then they had that voice message from Nathan, and then you set this up, so it was like seeded throughout the season that something like this was gonna happen. So she hit him with that I can't sleep. And so he was like, "You want to talk?" So she called him, and this nigga said he was watching stories.
Hey,
Look,
first of all, Brandon, don't you act like you ain't been there. Don't you act like you
I
couldn't
didn't
go
watch
outside till the story was off.
I didn't watch stories on my own free will.
Oh,
Let me
no,
tell you
no,
something.
okay.
There are so many dudes that watch the stories. They don't call it soap operas. They're like, I'm watching the stories. You're like, what the hell?
You goddamn right.
That's what
That
And
sounds
if you-
like my granny. Every time I hear people say stories, it just makes me think about
'Cause
my
that's what she
granny.
said.
And
And
that's
it's,
where
and
we
it's
got
so
it from.
cute. And
And
it's
that's
just
where we
so
got it from, our
cute.
grannies. If you
Mhm.
ain't team Young and the Restless, fuck you. That's how I feel. Like, I ain't. Look,
Wow,
it's all
what
about
the
Young and the Restless.
hell?
That's how I go.
this
We ain't
nigga's
fuck with Young and the Restless.
watching. This nigga's watching stories at 3 a.m. on his iPad. Like,
Hey,
Yeah, he into that.
he had to be bored, bro. He had to be bored.
you watch a lot of stuff when you can't sleep.
That's true. That's true. So Issa was telling just they was talking about they getting ready for the block party the next day because the block party's tomorrow as they're talking, and she said something. Nathan said something to Issa about Molly, and then Issa was like, "Yeah, me and Molly not at a good place." And then she was like, "I don't really fuck with Molly," and this was the conversation that we saw in the beginning of the show.
Mhm.
Of the
It was
season.
her and Nathan.
Yeah.
So I don't think anybody thought that was her talking to Nathan.
Nathan, yeah.
Everybody thought it
Yeah,
was going to
that-
be Condola. They thought it was going to be
I
Condola.
thought
Oh
it was-
no, I didn't know. Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be Lawrence. Yeah, I thought it was.
Mm.
But,
Did y'all think that was like a come through and chill hit up, or like it was actually like some real shit? Because like I felt like Issa was like she kind of wanted to slide through.
No,
at
I
first.
think she really wanted to talk. I think she just really wanted somebody to talk to.
Yeah, I just think
And
she
she
needs
really
somebody to
didn't
talk
have
to.
anybody to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she just needed someone.
'Cause I thought she was gonna backslide. I thought it was gonna give her a chance to backslide into some shit she shouldn't be doing.
Nah. She's still full from that full size nigga, so
out.
Then it's the day of the block party. So we get Molly's crib and she's trying to get ready, and Andrew's in there and she's trying to pick out her outfit and shit. And so Molly's like,
Hey, hold on real quick. Was Nathan at the house that him and Andrew share?
yeah.
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 'Cause he was like, your girl Molly is. Well, that's how. Yeah.
Yeah, she said Andrew's out at your girl Molly's house or something.
Yeah, it's your girl's Molly house.
Yeah,
how it
because
even came up.
that's how Molly came up. Yeah.
And Molly was like, I don't want to go to this block party, and I was like, she being petty already. And Andrew was like, listen, like she just been going through some shit, getting ready for this. Like, you should go. Like, what are you talking about? You're her best friend. You need to go. And then Molly was like, I love her, but I don't like her right now. And I was like,
That's real shit though.
I was like,
this episode, so I don't want to go too far ahead, but like this episode was really setting me up just to really like Andrew as a person. Because I was very skeptical of him initially, but he just seemed, when a person is like invested in the friendships that you have with other people outside of y'all's relationship, that I don't know, I appreciated that.
Oh, most definitely.
He's the
But you could
first-
tell, like,
Go ahead, Devin.
you could just tell that he's a stand-up guy because he's actually invested in the Molly in the way that nobody's ever invested in Molly before. Because he got past all the fuck shit that Molly did, and still saw her value through all her bullshit. Because Molly comes with a lot of bullshit.
Also, he's the first dude on the show they portrayed as a good dude besides the bisexual dude that Molly was fucking with.
Yeah, that was a good dude, man.
Every other dude on the show
Yeah.
is being kind of fucked up. Which is fine. I don't care.
Even my bae, Jordana. It's like, come on, Jordana, what you doing?
Who?
Remember a few seasons ago, she was dating Jordana.
He was a real estate. Was he a real estate agent?
I don't know what the fuck he was supposed to be doing, but he
Was
told
he
people
was a
that
lawyer. He was a lawyer. He was a lawyer.
he was telling people that he was Molly's boyfriend. She's like, oh, we are. He's like, I mean, I just did that to make you feel better. It was like, wait,
I remember.
what? It's like, sir, no, you can
But you
keep
see
that.
Jordana. You know what he working with. He got.
Look,
that
I'm
whole
just saying,
star
he wear
person.
he wear the pants I like. So
So then they're getting ready for the block party, and I said, I was like, Issa doing all this event planning shit. Where the fuck is Condola?
come on.
Is what I said. And so this was kind of what's the word? This was kind of like in my wheelhouse because I was event planner for a long time. So like I did like a lot of this types of shit. So I was like, yeah, they actually are doing like shit that they would actually do for a block party. Like it's not exactly how it would go, but it's kind of how it would go. Like
You would just have more volunteers.
it's
yeah.
kind of how it would go. And then she was like, "Oh, this is my executive assistant." I mean, no, she said, "This is my intern." And then the woman was like,
she was like executive assistant. I'm like, girl, you don't get paid. We don't want fam.
And so in the beginning of this block party, she had some spoken word person there. And she said something. The only thing I wrote down was she said,
"Get that oppressor."
She said, "Sisters with voices and sisters got choices."
And I'm selling purses in the back.
I'm selling purses in the back. And I was like, yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's like, come on, sis, with your hustle.
Come through.
When the
Them
intern got on the bike, because when Issa was like, "No, we got to shut that down," and the intern got on the bike, she was like a ban on Badu. The intern was hilarious.
Ban
I'm
on
sorry,
Badu.
the executive assistant. Excuse me. Let me get her.
She's like,
right.
and that's a ban on Badu. I was like, oh.
She was on top of shit, yo. Real shit, yo. I love Black.
That's why she wanted to be called
She
an
really
executive
was.
assistant.
I was on top of it. So then Condola shows up, and so.
But Condola did bring Spotify through and shit. You know what I mean?
Condola
Nope.
Look, listen.
Nope. Go ahead, Brandon. Keep going. Start,
Start,
because I'm ready.
You cannot be. Listen, you say what you want about whatever happened with her and Lawrence and how it was messy. Condola was very unprofessional. Because
Completely.
Yeah, that's unprofessional.
You can't leave somebody you can't just like not talk to someone that you're doing business with, and then you show up, and it seemed like she was there for like 5 minutes, and then just left. And she shows up, and Issa's like, "I haven't heard from you." And she's like, "Oh, Lawrence didn't tell you." And Issa's like, "Tell me what?" She was like, "Lawrence and I broke up." And I said, "Hold on,
what the fuck that got to do with anything?"
Whoa.
You know what? And I heard it on somebody's podcast today. I think Rod and Bossy was talking about it. I'm like, oh shoot, that does sound right. She was looking to see if Lawrence showed up because she knew they weren't together. I was like,
maybe I feel like in her mind, you know how your
Lauren, you broke up for a second.
Mind away with you, and they didn't got into it, and she's probably trying to pick Lawrence to be there with Issa.
Well, you
like
know she
I
did.
really felt like that's where a lot of, because I don't know, it's weird. Like y'all had already established y'all's connection, so whatever happened with you and Lawrence really shouldn't have mattered because Issa's not with him anymore. But that reaction made me feel like she felt like, oh, so he must be going back.
That shit in the kitchen really fucked with her. Then
No,
that's what really happened.
Because she said, oh, Lawrence didn't tell you, and I wanted Issa to say, me and Lawrence don't talk like that. The fuck?
Exactly. That's exactly what I
And
wanted
that's
her
what
to
she should have
say.
said. That's what she should have said. She'd
But
be
again,
like,
at that point, Condola made
why
her
would he-
mind up though. You could already see that shit on her face though.
she's like, Lawrence didn't tell you. Oh, okay.
And so she
What?
was like, I just came to check on the vendors, and I was like,
And she was like, I didn't even know if I was coming. Like, what, bitch?
Because she wasn't going to come.
she wasn't gonna come, and I was like, this is terrible. Like this is like that. I don't know, man. You getting a bad Yelp review for me on that one.
Because I have a really,
Yeah.
she's the reason why School Board Q pulled out. Not because he
Exactly.
didn't
That's
want to,
exactly
because
it.
she didn't handle
Had
what
to
was
be.
happening.
She
I'm
didn't
like,
handle her business.
you not
she
mad
did
at Condola?
something.
You not mad at Condola? I didn't cuss her ass out. You literally fucked up her event
It might find
and was
out that
acting like
she's
you
petty.
didn't.
She might have been petty and canceled on her. We might find that out. That'll be extra petty.
Because I'm like, that don't make no sense. He just pulled out for no reason. And you could tell that a lot of the stuff that was going on for that, Issa wasn't handling that. And you could tell. And it was like, that's why she was stressed, because now it's like, I got to do all this stuff. People, the editors calling me, the printers are calling me, when they probably would have just been calling Condola, because Issa wasn't handling that. So,
Also, I'll be
trash.
straight. Condola and Lawrence weren't together long enough to be that fucked up from that. I'm just gonna say that. Like, they weren't together long enough to have your whole life be in shambles. And like, I can't. Like, she couldn't even text Issa back. Like, no, I'm not even talking. Like, let's just say she wasn't in the mood to do some of this shit. She couldn't text her back. She couldn't text her and just say, I got your message. Or,
But Brandon, that's how we do. That's how we do each other, yo.
I'm
That's
going
real
through some
shit. People do that
Give
shit.
me a second. Like, they were together for a few months. Like, it wasn't. And she was acting like she wasn't even feeling Lawrence like that. She was, because she was she wasn't keeping him at an arm's length, but she wasn't hugging him either. It was some distance in between them, because she was talking about how she didn't want to get into anything that serious. So if you're not trying to get anything that serious and you're not taking Lawrence that serious, why is you and Lawrence breaking up? Just fucking everything up.
I'm wondering, did Condola have a little bit of that? I got my shit together. Issa doesn't have her shit together. And it kind of like making her feel salty because they weren't together that long for her to be so irritated. But it felt like you was the rebound and that Lawrence kind of used you and maybe went back to Issa, it would just make you feel saltier on a different level. Because you feel like you're better. Because I know she feels like she's better than Issa. She never say it.
Oh, yeah.
She knows.
But she
feels
carried
like she's
herself
better than
that
Lawrence.
way.
Yep. So then somebody tell Issa, the executive assistant was like, oh, we got black people taking pictures at the Step and Repeat. And they pan over and it's Kelly doing all these crazy ass poses.
Because of course it's Kelly.
Steph, you know how like last week you thought that was Molly and Molly won't fucking with them? That was just the photographer. I was happy when I saw that shit. I was glad it wasn't fucking Molly. You remember how last week you thought, like, when we talked about the preview of this episode, I was like, oh, Molly ain't even fucking with her. Molly won't there. I was like, thank God Molly ain't there being standoffish and then hanging back while they was taking pictures of it.
Oh, yeah.
When they take, when they do the 3 photos.
He's saying that he's glad Molly wasn't there just being like salty and shit. It was that she just wasn't there yet. So they taking pictures and shit. Kelly's doing all these poses. And it was like
she was gonna get that fucking tree pose.
There's like, let's take poses together. We're gonna do a sexy one, a hood one, and it was one more.
Jail, prison.
Was it silly? Was it silly? I think it was silly.
She said silly, sexy, and prison.
Prison. Yeah. And they was taking pictures. This is the funniest part of the episode to me. Some kid said something in the background, and Derek was like, "Shut the fuck up!
Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'm sorry.
I'm tired." It's like, oh my god! I was like, why are you under all this parental stress? And it's like,
I love Derek.
Yo,
I hate Tiffany, but I love Derek.
How hard has that man stepped up? We got to get that man his goddamn roses while he can
I love me some damn Derek. I can tolerate Tiffany slightly because
bro, she's in full meltdown mode. She's in full postpartum right now.
I feel like she's having postpartum. Like, she's an annoying bitch, but I really do think she's suffering from postpartum because that lack of interest. People think postpartum is just being like droopy, but when you're a new mom, you're kind of over the moon for your baby. Like, it was a long time before I was separated from my child. Like, I just did not want to leave them anywhere really within that first year. But when you have like postpartum, the last thing you want to do is be around a baby. And so it's really kind of sad. But I still don't like it.
Yeah, that's
Oh no, forever. It is forever.
That was a fuck them kids moments for Derek, which was great. And so then this nigga shows up that's with Kelly, and Kelly
He's a rapper.
goes,
You know, his name is Anime or
I have a comment
something.
about the rappers in this episode too. We'll get to that. But he shows up with Kelly, and Kelly immediately goes into this British accent. And she's like,
So it was genius level.
She tells him she's fake. She's fake. He met her with this British accent, and my question was, why were you pretending to have a British accent? Like, what the fuck?
For that nigga.
Like,
for that nigga.
For anybody, like, I don't understand.
Because
like,
Kelly is a clown.
Because Kelly is such a clown. Excuse me, she got fingered in a damn restaurant, and she had 3 different English accents going at the same time. I'm like, what the hell?
She had like a Cockney one. She had like a proper British one. It was a lot going on.
It was good. I loved every bit of it. Every bit of it. And then Amal came through.
Then they was oh, was this when Amal came? No, didn't he come later? Yeah, Amal came later.
No, that's when.
So yeah, before that, Condola, they was walking, and Issa was like, did Condola or Lawrence tell you that they broke up to like Derek and Tiffany? And Tiffany was like, nah, Condola ain't telling me nothing. And Derek was like, that nigga.
And she was like, I'm on maternity.
Tiffany will leave, yeah.
She's like, I'm on
that
maternity.
was so funny.
No, she ain't telling me nothing. I'm on maternity leave. From a phone call? What the hell?
And Derek was like, that nigga usually tells me too much.
And I think it's interesting that he didn't say anything to him.
And I do think it's more interesting because Lawrence was getting ready to tell Issa.
I think he was.
Mm-hmm. He was.
So he was going to tell Issa, but didn't tell his best friend, which is interesting.
Which is really weird. I'm pretty sure Chad knows, but the fact that he didn't tell Derek is very interesting. I'm like, why didn't he tell him?
Going through some shit, man. And then Derek, you know, we having a conversation. Derek talking all this real shit. And I'm like, man, I ain't no position to back up. We talking about all this real life shit about your little girl and your family, and we didn't expect this shit, nigga. I'm not in the headspace. I'm not in the headspace to be
exactly.
Hey,
Derek brought a life into the world, and yeah, I just feel like Lawrence just probably felt like it was no segue into that conversation.
Yeah.
And that makes me think that maybe him and Condola breaking up has nothing to do with Issa and probably has everything to do with the conversation he had with Derek.
Oh, that's interesting.
That too. Because he was
looking around
you saw the aha moment on his face.
So then the executive assistant comes up and is like, you got a press interview, Issa. So she walk over and this black woman's talking to her and answering these questions. And then at the end, she was like, oh, where can I see this interview? She was like, on my YouTube channel. And she was like, what's the YouTube channel? She's like, I don't know. I'm just starting that shit. And so Issa was like, you hired a full camera crew for your YouTube channel? And she was like, I had to make it look professional.
I was screaming. I said, girl.
That's blackness right there, y'all. We did
what
it.
in the Hollywood
what did Issa say? Issa was like, I believed you. She said.
Yeah.
And the girl was like, good.
As ridiculous as that is, I can totally see
quality television.
That is
quality television.
That is such a Jason Lee
goddamn
move.
Right.
So then they were some shit. They were playing. Oh, some artist was rapping or whatever. Some opening art, like opening.
It was a lot of independent folks and a lot of rap. I'm like, dang, who are these people?
I didn't know none of those niggas, including Vince Staples.
I was like,
you didn't know Vince Staples? He's big in it, Cali.
I know Kamaya. I know Vince Staples. I know Kamaya. Wasn't Kamaya up there rapping, girl?
Girl, I have no idea. I'm like, if it's not
LA people,
Stallion,
it's all LA people.
Right. If it's not Megan Thee Stallion, I don't know who the hell they are.
Oh shit, you funny.
I'm just saying.
But the dude, Stephanie's, Kelly's date is a rapper in real life.
That's what I heard. I was like, wait, what?
He has fire song. He's actually really good. He's actually a really good rapper, actually.
Is it anime or mean?
Whatever his name is. Yeah.
Okay.
Tiffany was talking and she was just like, "Yeah, I'm not breastfeeding anymore." And I was like,
"Getting it in."
You know what, Lauren? I think that might have to do with her postpartum too, because it don't seem like homegirl is latching.
Ooh. Well, that can compound it or whatever, like because you feel like a failure. I didn't
Yeah.
have issues with latching, but I was in a group, like a little like breastfeeding moms group. And that would
Mm-hmm.
destroy women's whole world because you feel like your baby hates you. And she said it. She was like, her law. And the
Yeah.
thing is, you can work, like babies will eventually latch. There's usually some type of like disconnect or whatever where you can, you figure it out what the issue is. But the fact that she was just not even wanting to do it
She was
anymore.
so
And there's nothing wrong with
nonchalant
women don't
about
want
it.
to
I was
breastfeed
like,
no more.
okay, so this.
She was just like, yeah, she was so flippant
Yeah.
about it. Like, she didn't latch her laws. But I really think that's coming from a place of hurt.
Yeah.
And it's like I say,
Definitely.
it could be a self-fulfilling cycle. The PPD, the postpartum depression could be causing the latching issues. The latching issues could be feeding into,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then just her hormones probably still ain't right. Women are really not right for like a year after we have a baby. People don't realize that. But it takes you about a year to get your mind and body and emotions back right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote
We getting
Tiffany.
deep as shit on this podcast.
I wrote Tiffany's going through it with her new motherhood because
Yes, it's not because it's not the dream that she thought it was gonna be.
Because remember how she was acting when she was pregnant. I am giving a life.
Yeah,
I am fabulous. Look how great I was. And then you on the other side of it, and it's not
that
the
baby
way.
pooping your ass.
Because she's like, he's so great. I'm so glad he's here. Because I feel like, ooh, if Derek wasn't the father that he was, Lord have mercy.
A train wreck.
Ooh.
And so then Molly shows up, and Issa and Molly had this super cold like hello, and I was like, this ain't gonna go well. So
it was cold. It was like, ooh, I was shivering. Like, ooh.
So then her mom shows up. She speaks to everybody except Kelly, and Kelly was like, I'm right here. And she was, and mom was like, oh, I know.
He's like, I know.
I
was like, bitch. I was like, well, hello to your shirt. I said, good night. Get out. I hate both of y'all.
But did y'all peep the little half hug he gave Molly though?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if y'all
I
peeped
did.
that. He gave Molly a real. He gave her a real
like,
half ass.
Hey, Molly.
Me and my sister been talking shit about your ass hug.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was like, yeah, bitch, I don't fuck with you either. It's team.
I don't fuck with you either, bitch.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm Team Issa on this.
So then Kelly was talking to the nigga she was with, and Amal shows up, and he was like, "Oh, hey Kelly, what part of England are you from?" And she was like, "I'm from
South Central."
She said, "I'm from what'd she say? Poppy dude?
South Central.
I think
Yeah, Poppycock.
Down the. She said South Central London. I said, girl. And then she said down by Benny Hill.
Biscuits talk.
I said,
yeah, just a biscuit
Benny
talk.
Hill is a person. Get out.
Whole person. A whole person.
Benny Hill's a person, girl. What are you doing? And they dumb ass. I'm like, oh Lord.
So
I was like, wait a minute.
Then Miles says, what do you think about Brexit? And she's like, I don't want to talk about Brexit or the England government. And then the nigga was like,
Brexit is boring.
Brexit's boring.
She's like, what about American government? And the nigga was like, oh yeah, there's two types of American government. There's the presidential.
It's two branches of government. I went, oh no.
He says the presidential branch and the bank branch.
Bank branch.
Bank of America. That's why there's so many of them. Golly.
Because they print all the money there.
That's why it's called Bank of America.
When he said that, I was like, "That I know that nigga dick is fire because that's not the first thing he said to her.
You know it is. You be like, the shit I gotta go through.
That ain't the first stupid shit he said. That's probably the stupidest shit he said. But the other shit was probably like kind of stupid, and she probably just brushed it off. But that let me know, yeah, that thing is heavy and it's fire because.
Not heavy.
He got the mouth and the stroke, and you can tell.
You know,
girl, I get it.
Stupid.
I get it. He's too stupid.
I wonder how many niggas was watching was like, yep. When he said
and the bad part about it is like, it's some dude out there like, what he say wrong? Everything?
Yikes.
So then,
but yo, Kelly was ready. But Kelly was already ready to find another nigga though.
She's always
ready.
I love it. I'm like, girl, please. If you are always on ready, you'll never get ready.
Yes, damn right. Goddamn
also,
right.
like Kelly and Tiffany are not on the same page either, because I think they had a little interaction.
That bitch is spacey. That's why.
But so then the babysitter calls and like the baby's crying and shit, and so Derek's like, "Hey man, we gotta go because the baby crying." And Tiffany was like, "Yo, I really don't want to go. Like, this is my first time out. Like, I really don't want to go." And so Derek was like, "Yo, that's cool. Like, you can ride home with Kelly, and I'll go."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but you ain't gonna act like how Derek was talking to his baby. Y'all ain't hear that? Oh, you are not in a good mood.
No, wait a minute. I was like, oh.
I said, "Look at this nigga being a good daddy."
Put her on the phone.
What you gonna say, Steph?
No, I'm not gonna say anything. I thought it was super cute, but it was just
super
like,
cute.
How interesting. What a difference a week makes.
That's right.
Because folks is real. Y'all was mad at him when he was talking about my daughter gonna get fingered in the future. What the hell?
That's real.
And now he was like,
me and Brandon were mad. That's real nigga talk.
I was mad at him, but I just said it was real.
Thank you. Right. Because
I was never mad at him.
But what I'm saying is, look what a difference a week makes.
was
Everybody was like,
but niggas can be complicated. You can be trash.
Right. I'm still mad about it. But we obviously know he loves it. We know he loves his daughter.
Right.
He's just a man, a toxic ass man. Can't help it.
Right. But he has moments.
I'm sure Donald Trump loves his daughter too. That mean he's a good person.
Ew. No.
That's
Ew.
different.
That's gross. Tiffany would like a word. Because she'd be like, I would differ with you.
Oh, Tiffany Trump. Yeah, she's like
Mm-hmm.
non-existent. So then Tiffany was talking to Amal, and she was like, "So, let's get you some ass or some dick. Which one you want?"
Player's choice. I was like, oh, okay.
Come on, player's choice.
I love
Come on, verse. Come on, verse.
I love his real name. His real name is Gene Eli. I was like, what, nigga? Are you like a real nigga? And your name is Gene Eli. I was like, oh man, I'm trying to change my name to be French.
So then Molly and Andrew was chilling, and Andrew was trying to stick up for Issa. Andrew was like, look at all this shit. Like, this is really good. And he was like, maybe Issa's been distant because this is the biggest thing in her life, and she's been trying to handle it all this shit together. So she's just been a little distant from you. And then I was like, look at Andrew. And Molly was like, at this point, yeah, maybe you're right. Like, maybe I've been.
And she was taking it in. She looked around and actually see like the scale of what Issa has been, dealing with these months and shit. And she was like,
I'll get more upset when we get later on because she at this point she was like, oh, okay, I understand a little bit. And so then Issa's running around checking shit, and Trina shows up, and Trina was like, why you got niggas out here tap dancing for the whites? And Issa's like, what are you talking about?
She was like, look at you tap dancing for the white folks. She was like, what?
And she's like, that nigga over there, tap dancing.
Like there literally is a person tap dancing on your stage.
There literally is somebody tap dancing.
And then Benjamin was
literally
like, I can do that, and start tap dancing. And Trina was like, we got
So y'all gonna act like y'all ain't see that rat tail? That's the first time I seen that rat tail. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
That nigga got a whole rat tail. That nigga got a whole rat tail.
I heard rat tail.
Oh, her little son.
Yeah.
That little kid.
So then Nathan shows up, and I was like, look.
He looks stiff as a bitch too. He like stiff and old
Nathan's
as fuck.
that nigga that's always like trying to stand and look cool, like just always like trying to be cool and chill. He also look high as fuck all the time.
Whew. And he looks scrumptious. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes,
First of all, he a barber. He be looking scraggly. I don't like that shit.
Look.
I don't like that struggle beard. I don't like that shit.
We don't care.
Just because he a barber. Just because he a barber.
We don't care. Keep going.
Nathan was.
But people that do stuff always be looking kind of funny. Because like my beautician used to never do her hair, and the bitch could lay some hair, but she just was always looking like.
They're like, why your hair done? Why your hair not done? Because I'm always doing hair. What you mean?
Because I do hair all day.
But barbers are different though, because barbers always stay fresh for some reason though.
Sure.
Not old men barbers.
No,
you're right. Not old man barber. You're right. Yeah, it's absolutely right about the old man barber.
They was kind of awkward together, but Issa's always awkward. But Nathan was kind of adorable here. He was just trying to be real supportive and shit. And here's the thing: Nathan is so positive. Like he was like that last season too. Like he's so overwhelmingly positive. I feel like that could be annoying sometimes because he's so positive about shit. He's just like, Issa, you can do this. Like you're the best. Like this is so great. And he was like that with her because he was like.
And that's why you gotta get that nigga a pass. So that's why you gotta get a nigga a pass. He had mental health issues.
If you get too tired of his over.
He don't
positivity.
get a pass, but I don't think he's as terrible as some
people wanted to give him.
No, I give him a pass because I'm like, over positivity, just sit on his face. He'll be fine.
He is definitely over positive though.
Okay.
Stephanie loves her some Nathan. Jesus.
You know I love him.
So you like him
Some
more than
thigh
Daniel?
muffs. We'll give him the thigh muffs.
No.
No. So he hasn't surpassed Daniel.
Daniel and his pretty ass skin, no.
So Daniel's still at the top. Okay.
Daniel's smile is better
Dan-
too, though. Real
Daniel's
shit,
still at
though.
the
I
top.
feel like it is weird that Daniel was not like somehow looped into
Tied
this
into this.
some kind of way, even if it wasn't directly with Issa, like through a job or something. He had to come.
He didn't even
do
show
something.
up. I'm like,
yeah, it's just interesting.
we
So-
ain't never gonna see Abu again. I'm like, come on, put his pretty ass back on the screen.
So is Daniel at the top of the insecure men for you, Stephanie?
Oh, it absolutely is. Oh, he absolutely is.
What
about
over
you, Lauren?
Jadena? Over Jadena?
Jadena don't count.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
I
not
was
a
just saying.
What you say, Lauren?
Daniel, even though I'm, not a super duper, I won't say that. But yeah, I like Daniel. He was a cutie pie.
Oh, you gonna get?
I
the
feel like
camera
he's
or
probably
something?
an
You gonna bring it in
asshole.
here?
I say he's probably an asshole because he's a Kappa, but I think I don't know if he's a Kappa on the show. It might just be in real life. He did wear that. Well, he did wear that big ass K sweater. It's all
he
Greek
did wear that
love. I
big
love
ass
the pretty
sweater.
boys.
That's definitely a Kappa thing right there. That's absolutely.
It's all crimson and cream love over here. I'm just saying, but no, I really enjoyed Daniel because I just felt like
No,
he
I
was
totally get what
real,
you mean by the
but
Kappa thing. You're like, ooh.
I guess I say he was real, and I feel like him and Issa could have found a way to make things work because I just feel like he kind of didn't put up with her shit, and she needed that a little bit.
So Devin, who's at the top of the women insecure list? Because for me, it's Tasha.
It's always got to be Tasha. I was just like, is there somebody else other than Tasha?
Yeah, she's the goat. You know it, Steph. You know we right.
I'm not. I didn't say you were wrong. I'm just like, I think.
Who would
interesting.
Who would be at that list? I don't even know who would be on that list. Condola's cute and all, but Condola ain't Tasha.
No, I like Tasha. I like Kelly.
It's Tasha. She's number one. So then some nigga named Siri started rapping, and I said that's a weird name for a rapper. And so then
was that a real rapper?
I
was that just an actor?
Listen, don't ask me.
I
old.
don't.
Devin probably knows this shit.
No, I don't know who that is, but I just appreciate the moment of that shit because everybody that fuck with local artists, they got that one song, and then he played his one song, niggas was jumping. 5 minutes later, when he did his other song, niggas was like, "Yeah, we started."
Yeah, we don't know these songs. That's a big thing in Baltimore. Baltimore local artists always got one song.
And everybody know it.
So then Molly finally meets up with Issa, and Issa was like, "Look, black people showing up." And so Molly,
the blacks, come through, blacks.
Come through, blacks. She was like, "This is when I would have showed up." Like, you wasn't gonna come to nothing that early.
Like
so why
17 minutes in,
Blackwood
door just open. Where everybody at? We not coming on time. What you doing, girl?
So then Molly brought Issa some food. She's like, "You've been busy. I wanted to bring you some food." And I was like, "Look at her trying to be nice." So at this
is when this is when I was like, "Fuck Molly," because Molly just thinks, "Boom, I'm gonna bring this food." And everything gonna be squashed. Like, even though Molly
is that what you're saying?
No.
She was trying to bring the food as an olive branch so they could have a talk. I think she was trying to have that talk then.
That's when it went left for her, because like Molly's like, boom, I brought this olive branch over here, and this bitch she busy. And Molly got right back in her Molly feelings, like everything's about me. It's like, oh bitch, you don't see I brought you this chicken, and I'm trying to make things right. And I was like, damn, Molly, you right back in your Molly shit. Team fuck Molly.
Yeah, because the executive assistant comes over and was like, Vince Staples is here. And Issa's like, I got to go. And so I didn't listen. I heard his name before. If you just showed me a picture of him, I'd have had no idea that was Vince Staples. Never. So then.
I'm going to tell you why I think, like, because it's Vince Staples and then there's Vince Mensa. So that's the light-skinned nigga from Chicago.
Vic Mensa?
Yeah. He actually goes by.
Oh yeah.
He got dreads or whatever.
Because you said Vince Mensa, and I'm like, who?
Or Vic Mensa. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So
he's on Rock Nation. That's the only reason I know him.
So
okay.
This nigga asked for a bunch of random shit like Twizzlers and fucking just some type of candy,
different type of water,
like a whole bunch of random shit, which is exactly what they do. Like it's always random shit when celebrities show up. And so I was like, man, this is making me so sad because everybody's stuck in the damn house for the quarantine. This block party looked fun as shit.
Looks fun than a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like such a good time. None of us, we ain't having no block parties this summer.
LA closed till fucking September. That's crazy.
Well, in Texas they might have a block party though, because Georgia, because they're opening that shit up. But I won't be going.
I'll be in the house.
So then they had this old man on stage doing fucking splits, and they couldn't.
He won. That's the realest shit ever. But his boys came through and rep through because my man put on, and my boys got my back. So he had to win though. The real shit, he had to win.
So then they started playing the wobble, and so everybody turns up for the wobble, and I was laughing at Andrew dancing. Cause I was like, this nigga is kind of got some rhythm.
He's counting the steps. He was counting the steps. I was like,
because he never did it before. But for somebody who never did it before, he has some rhythm.
Oh, he got rhythm.
I was pleasantly surprised.
I saw him counting the steps though.
The executive assistant's like, come on, Issa, let's go do the wobble. She's like, oh, I can't. I'm trying to be professional. She was like, bitch, if you don't come dance. And so then Issa gets in there and starts dancing.
Right beside Molly.
And right beside Molly, they were smiling. And I wrote, something bad is about to happen. That's exactly what I wrote.
Yep.
I said, something bad is about to happen because that's how storytelling works. And then I wrote, as somebody who was a club promoter, I was like, this was a good hype man. Because a good hype man can make the difference between a good party and a bad party, and he was good.
Mm-hmm.
And so
he was good.
He called Issa on stage, and I said, I hope this nigga don't fucking rap. I hope Issa don't try to rap. And she ain't trying to rap, and so she was trying to give her speech, thanking people, and then these niggas start cheering for Vince right in the middle of her speech. And I was like, well, I guess it's time for you to get off the fucking stage, Issa.
Yeah, pretty much. They're like, we don't care, boo. Put Vince on the stage.
So
hit that wrap it up button real quick, though.
Came out and started
Them people was the Dave Chappelle wrap it up box from the show. They was not playing word.
And then they showed people getting the street food from the vendors, and I was like, some street food would be good right now, too. And so then Andrew and Molly were walking, and Vince Staples' manager came out and was like, hey, check in with me before you leave. And Molly was like, what's that about? And then Andrew was like...
No, he said, thanks for the hookup.
Yeah, thanks for the hookup. And then Andrew was like, she's like, what's that about? And then Andrew was like, oh, yeah, Nathan said something to me about Issa's artist dropping out. So I just sent the email for her to help her out. And then Molly was like, oh, yeah? All right. And then Issa was with the executive assistant.
He's like, I thought it'd be cool for me to do your girl a favor, your best friend a favor, yeah.
And her nose was.
And then this was when Molly turned.
And they was having fun. That executive assistant was funny as shit. And so
hilarious. The girl's like, I don't have insurance.
You need to go to the hospital. I don't have no insurance. I'm like, ma'am, you are bleeding from your face.
The best shit ever said. I can't.
And she was like. And Nathan was like, should we let her go? And he was like, I don't pay her.
I can't tell her what to do.
Her.
I was like, I can tell what to do. I don't pay her.
I can't police her. I was like, that shit was everything. That's a motto right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you see Molly walking up in the background, up to Issa. And I actually have the clip, so I'm going to play it for the show.
Pay her, I can't police her. Right. Drive safe, girl.
Can I talk to you?
Yeah.
Did you tell Nathan to talk to Andrew about Vince?
I did. Nathan reached out about the block party and I needed help, so.
But we had a conversation.
I know, and I didn't involve you.
Yeah, but you still got my man to do you a favor.
And it all worked out, right?
That's not the point, Issa. You deliberately went behind my back. I mean, I was very clear about how I felt, but I guess what? That didn't mean anything to you?
Because, Molly, you were willing to let me fail? Over what? Some random rule you made up?
It wasn't random. I was setting boundaries.
Molly, you knew how much this event meant to me. You saw me at We Got Y'all, you saw me struggling, and you decided your new relationship was more important than doing me one little ass favor?
Nigga, you stay needing one little ass favor.
Why are you doing this at my event right now? Is it that serious?
Hey, we don't gotta do this, guys. We were just having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I was over there wobbling with your shady ass meanwhile you stabbing me in the back.
Stabbing you in the back? Molly, this is OD. I don't have time for your drama. Okay? You keep starting shit. You keep making up problems. You keep focusing on shit that I need to fix when you need to fix your fucking self.
Bitch, do you hear yourself? Nobody has more drama than you, Issa. Okay? You need to figure out your shit and stop using people. You use Nathan, Andrew, me, who else?
Guys, let's not do this here.
See? You are so miserable. If things don't work out with Andrew, it's not gonna be because of me, girl.
Fuck you.
Fuck me, I've been stopped fucking with you.
I should have dropped your line ass a long time ago. You still the same selfish bitch you always been.
Molly, get your finger out of my fucking face.
What you gonna do? What's she reaching for? That bitch got a gun! You still the gun. Is it a knife? Is it a what?
All right, so that's the scene. So, go ahead, Stephanie. What do you think?
So
yeah.
let me, girl.
No, I'm just laughing at that. Is it a gun? Is it a knife?
What is she reaching with? What she reaching for? It was like, wait, you didn't see a gun. You're like, what she reaching
and
for?
the old man was
like,
these niggas can't have nothing.
I was like, what? So here is, and I have been, it took me a minute because I was sitting with this. Because the first time I watched it, I was like, why is Molly doing this here? Like, one, where she's doing it is absolutely, positively wrong. So I had to think about something. So you are friends with somebody. It went from we are off to we don't fuck with each other. I don't know when that conversation happened. However, if I'm not fucking with you, and if I'm not fucking with you, that means my man can't do nothing for you either. But my man also knows that I'm not fucking with you. And he just did it because his roommate asked him to do it. So I get why Molly's upset, but she was out of line to do it there. You should have swallowed it and came back to it later. You're out of line to do it here.
See, I disagree because I don't think they weren't not fucking with each other. Like,
no, they flat out said they weren't fucking with each other.
No,
they
in this argument. But before that, like, Molly and Issa, last time Molly talked to Andrew about
But
Issa,
Molly said that to Andrew. She said, we not cool. She said that to him before she went over to Issa.
She ain't never tell Andrew that. Andrew was probably like, I didn't know that shit. Because the last time we saw Andrew...
No, she said that to Andrew. She said, we not cool.
Yes, Molly said
so
that.
He did to Andrew. She said that to Andrew.
Yes, but Molly's also delusional. Molly's probably...
But that don't mean that he didn't know.
The last time we saw Molly talk to Andrew about Issa, Molly was saying, yeah, me and Issa just not on the right page. That's all.
And what did she say before she went up to Issa? What did she say? What did she say to Andrew? We not cool.
Yes, because Molly's wrong. Like she's mad at Andrew. She's mad at Andrew. She's mad at Issa.
I feel like I hear that. But remember that conversation that Andrew and Molly had when they were sitting down, and he was like, "You see, this is probably why Issa has been tripping a little bit because this is a big thing to pull off." And I thought that kind of, resonated in Molly's mind. Like, yeah, you're right. We both, we probably need to talk. So I could see her being upset, but I feel like from Andrew's perspective, he probably never took it as serious. He probably like, oh, they just girls and they just tripping. Or you know what I mean? Just thinking about how him and Nathan may have had a spat, but that's still my homie though.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Right.
Thinking, or even thinking, hey, if I do this favor, this may.
Yeah, she never made it clear.
Because I don't think
she never made it clear like she don't fuck with Issa. Like it wasn't like I don't fuck with her, and then Andrew went behind her back and did something with somebody she don't fuck with. Just that morning they were talking about this shit, and Molly was literally like, "Yeah, I don't like her right now, but I love her." Like she just said that morning before the block party. So to Andrew's point, to Andrew's mind, it's just like, oh, they going through some shit, they just having they going through some shit, but they'll be straight.
But that is the morning of the show. He had already did the favor.
Right, but what I'm saying to you is, in Andrew's mind, he didn't know Molly didn't fuck with Issa because nobody knew Molly didn't fuck with Issa because she didn't tell nobody.
But she did tell him that.
No, she didn't.
I'm not saying no. She
shit.
did. No, what did she say to him? I'm going by what she said. I'm not saying that Andrew took her seriously because he probably didn't. That doesn't mean that she didn't say it to him. Well, in her mind, she's like, I told you that. Well, but in his mind, he was like,
and far as we know, we can only go by what we saw on the show.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he didn't. He took her seriously and was just like, oh no, I don't give a fuck. It was more like no, she did have this conversation with you, and you were probably like, y'all fine, y'all best friends go out. It's not that serious. So that's probably what he was thinking.
No, you're missing
I'm
what I'm
not
saying.
saying.
I'm saying that in Molly's mind, she thinks that she had that conversation, but she never actually had that conversation. In Molly's mind, her telling Andrew that me and Issa are not on the same page, in her mind is her telling Andrew that me and Issa are not fucking with each other. Like in her mind,
But I'm going by what she actually said to him. She, we're not cool.
Yes, because in her mind, she thinks that she said that to him.
But how do we know she didn't say that to him?
Because
we don't know that.
Well, we can only go by what happens in the show. And so the last time
and that's
we saw
what I'm
them
saying.
talking in the show was in the morning time, and she didn't say that she didn't fuck with Issa. In fact, she said the opposite. She said, I love her.
I just don't like her right now.
Yeah, I just don't like her.
I get what you're saying, but I'm going by what she's saying to him. Because also, this is like at the end of the day. This is going from morning to night. We don't know what else she said to him, and we don't know what she said before the morning. Because remember, she said, "I don't even want to go." That don't mean that we kind of cool. And she's like debating that she don't even want to go to the event. That's your best friend, and you thinking, "I don't even want to go to this."
Yeah, she's tripping.
That's when you know that Andrew wasn't taking that seriously. He didn't realize it until she went and jumped in her face like, oh, shit, she was serious. Oh, shit.
Well, okay, let's go through this. So, Lauren, do you think Molly overreacted?
Help them.
Huh?
100%.
Okay,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Devin, what about you? Devin's on mute during the time where he wants to gloat. All right. So.
Oh yeah. She nuked the situation. Team fuck Molly. She nuked the situation. She nuked that shit because you can't come back from that.
Well, here's the thing. One, Stephanie. The first thing is, there's no excuse for her doing this at the damn.
There. It's like she's out of line for that. It's like, girl, that's the conversation tomorrow or in 2 days.
But even
not
this,
there.
Like, this was just Molly this is Molly not being able to handle her emotions, and I don't mean that in like a sexist way. I mean it in she was this action of Nathan asking Andrew to do him a favor is not something that blows up a friendship. This is all the other shit that's been going through, and it just blew up because of that shit. Because here's the thing: if I'm friends with someone who's friends with someone, that's like. I can't ask that person, like, because Molly. Here's the thing: Molly said, "I told you not to do that," and that's not what Molly said on the phone.
Molly said,
she said that she wasn't going
to
do it.
Said,
I'm
not going to do it.
I actually went back and watched it. She didn't say you can't ask him, or she said I'm not.
She said I'm not going to ask him.
Yes,
and you want to know why she? And I think also it was like she didn't think Nathan was an option because she didn't know that Issa and Nathan were like talking.
No, so look, and there's a part in that.
Go ahead, Devin.
Go ahead.
There's a part in that where she was like, "Oh, she fucking with Nathan again," and Molly wanted to protect Issa from that shit prematurely, which she had no right to do because she doesn't know what conversation they have, where they're at, and then she threw herself into that shit, and that's furthermore putting her foot in her mouth about, like Issa and Nathan can't have a relationship because Nathan goes to her.
Also, with Molly getting angry at this shows that it wasn't about Molly and Andrew. It was 100% about Molly and Issa. And Molly was using.
Well, this was just a build up. This was it just gave her an outlet to unload because she started saying
it's about
all kind of stuff.
Yeah, she was using. Well, I'm talking about I'm talking about the episode before when she said, "I'm not going to ask Andrew," and Issa said, "Why?" And she was like, "I don't want to because I want to make this work." That had nothing to do with Andrew, because if it was about Andrew, then you wouldn't care if Nathan asked. You didn't want to ask Andrew because you didn't want to do that for Issa. Like she didn't want to do that for Issa because it wasn't that
all over that rejected phone call though. It was because of that rejected phone call when Molly thought Issa was actually trying to listen to her problems.
Issa
and shit.
was wrong then. Like Issa was 100% wrong then, just dismissing Molly in a way when Molly was trying to talk to her. But she wasn't not asking Andrew because she wanted to protect. Set some type of boundary or something. She was mad because she didn't want to help Issa out with that. She didn't want to do with that shit. And she even said it. She said it at some point that she was like, you always need a little favor. Like it's always something. You always need a favor for something. And
we're going to use next.
Yeah, she didn't want to help Issa with that shit. And so
But you also got to look up the time frame that she asked Issa for that Issa asked her. They knew they weren't in a good place, and you're asking her anyway. So the excuse she gave Issa is complete.
But see,
No,
this is where
man. No, wait.
Hold up.
Here's the thing. What might be different?
No, I was going to say this might be different with, I don't know if this is a gender thing or what, because like Devin is like my brother and my best friend. And if me and Devin beef, no matter how the beef was, if something was really important to me, no matter what Devin and I are going through, if something is that important to me, like this is obviously the biggest thing in Issa's professional life, in her entire life that she's ever done. If something is that important to me, and you're my best friend, and you don't show up in that time of need, like, then what are we friends for? Like, what are we friends for at that point? Especially when they didn't really have anything that serious to blow it up. It wasn't like Issa was fucking Molly's boyfriend or something like completely unforgivable. It was just like a bunch of disconnect shit that they've been going through.
So,
and I just feel like that was the thing. Like, it wasn't that deep, and I just feel like Molly was just ready to unload. And like I say, I'm not trying to pick sides because I feel like they're trying to show us an accurate portrayal of a relationship breaking down. Mm-hmm. So they're both at fault in some ways, but Definitely. This escalation was really just on Molly. Like, that was on Molly, and that's the thing when you are going through something like that. It's just the straw that broke the camel's back thing. If it wasn't this, it would have been something else, and Molly probably would have still blew up and escalated it.
Right. And then, people would blame it on, like, alcohol, like, you would blame it on something shit, but, like, it was just some shit that bubbled to the top, and I wanted to get shit off my chest. So,
throughout the whole thing this season, like, they've both been at fault for different things. Like, it's not 100% Molly, 100% Issa. But to me, this particular incident was 100% Molly, to me. And it didn't have to be that way. And that's what was kind of disturbing in a way, in as far as the show goes with that, because she was heated. And then, like, the thing that Issa said to her was that she said it wasn't about you, and then she said you were willing to let me fail over a stupid rule that you made up, and then Molly said it wasn't random, I was setting boundaries. And then Issa
bitch, you ain't never set boundaries before.
And then Issa said you saw me struggle, you saw all the shit I went through with what was it called? Not Just Play. What was it called? What was it? You got it?
We got y'all. We got y'all.
She's like, you saw all the shit I went through. We got y'all and all this other shit and all the struggles I had. And this was the most important thing. And I just asked you for this one little favor. And Molly was like, you stay needing one little ass favor. And that was it right. To me, that was it right there, because at the end of the day, no matter what you go through with your best friend, like, if you're going to end a friendship, to me, a friendship needs to be ended on something worth ending a friendship. And like Lauren said, like, the stuff that they've been going through wasn't serious enough to me to have a fucking drop a nuclear bomb at somebody's block party like Molly did.
That shit.
So then,
and that's again, literally, you get the whole explanation of their breakdown of why Molly's at fault right now. And not saying that Molly's at fault but Molly, you're literally turning the key to detonate this fucking relationship right now. You're fucking blowing this shit the fuck up. And like, everybody is giving her, like, Molly, we don't have to do this shit right now. Molly, stop doing this shit. And then boom, she saw red and she blacked out and just went to blow it up. She blew the shit up.
But she wasn't the only one seeing red though.
Oh, no,
Issa was pissed the fuck off. It was Issa's event. And honestly,
right.
And once you put your hand in my face, that's literally how I could see it escalating to that point. But it's just like, in that moment, I think it was a lot of hurt from Issa's side, because it does feel like, hey, why are you coming at me like this? Like, we're better than that. Even if we weren't good, we're better than that.
Right.
And Molly saw red as soon as Andrew said it to her. Like, she went into a different space.
She was ready. She didn't even take a break to like stop and like, even clarify it with him again. Like, now what happened? No, she just literally started charging over to her. And to me, even in that instance, like, I felt like, I don't know, maybe should she have had a conversation with, like, hey, if Issa asks you for a favor, don't do it kind of thing. Like, I don't even know how Andrew should have reacted. Like, should he have not done it? Like, should she be mad at Andrew? You know what I mean? And the thing is, I don't feel like Andrew was wrong, because I feel like he just didn't, just care, kind of flippantly was like, yeah, I'll do the favor. It's no big deal kind of thing. Molly, in a way just feels a little bit controlling. And if she couldn't control the situation and have like and be able to press the green light on Issa's, event, then it just didn't need to be no event then kind of thing. Like you was gonna leave your friend hanging, you showed up here. So did you want your friend to have a shitty event? Like I don't know.
And
No, you're
technically,
absolutely right.
Too, I feel like
go ahead,
in
Lord.
friendships like this, I'm sorry, and I just too feel like in friendships like this, like Issa has probably been on a downturn and probably not has always had the same resources that Molly has, but we haven't seen everything, and I'm sure there have been some times where Issa has gone out of her way or bent over backwards or done a really big thing for Molly, and she just threw all of that out the window, like, nah, fuck this shit, and it's just like, okay, like. We probably don't need to even, I don't know about even being cordial after this because you really showing your true colors.
You blew the shit up. Listen, you duped that shit.
Blew the shit up.
Lord.
Like, you're supposed to be like my best friend, a person that's like close to me like a sister. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, people fight all the time. Like, me and my little brother get into it all the time. But I know if that nigga got a problem, I'm coming. I'm running. I don't care how much we're mad at each other. And I feel like that's the place that their friendship was. And maybe even Issa, maybe misinterpreting, thinking, yeah, me and this girl, we always go round and round. We'll find our way back to each other kind of thing.
Like if this was Issa and Tiffany, I could see this to an extent.
Yeah, that's a different relationship.
But she wouldn't ask
that's a
Tiffany.
different relationship.
That's the thing. It wouldn't even be this with Tiffany because she wouldn't ask Tiffany.
I think
she would only ask. I don't think she would. But the thing about it, this is where I'm like, I feel like the spot where they're in, where she like charged at her, there's a reason why both of them are at this spot. Is either because of where she interrupted. She's like, well, bitch, fine, gloves off. Let me tell you about yourself and how it don't matter if my shit failed. You probably still, if shit blow up with Andrew, it's not going to be my fault. And so you're looking at the insecurities of two different people. Molly's insecure about her relationships and Issa's insecure about her career. Because from the beginning of this show, I'm going to the totality of this show. Issa you have never seen her going, oh my God, this is so big for me. And honestly, Molly is always there for her. Because when she cheated on Lawrence, homegirl was running interference between the two dudes because both of them showed up. That was Molly running interference for her. She was mad as shit at Issa and she still drove back from Malibu with her.
Right, which is why why I can see Issa being even more mad that this little shit that's happened this season,
the little shit,
this place.
But it's not. But I think when we're looking at it, like it's little, but it's not when you're talking about somebody's feelings.
Yeah,
because it's
the straw that broke the camel's back.
It really is a straw.
All the little
things. Like, girl, but mind you, they knew they were off. Oh, we need to talk about this. Oh, what are we gonna talk about? Oh, girl, I ain't got time. Oh, I ain't got time. Oh, can we do this later? Oh, my thing fell out. Oh, what happened? Girl, I don't have time for this right now. Oh, can I call you and talk? Oh, yeah, because let me tell you about my problems. You called me to talk about your problem.
You're not wrong with that shit.
So it's kind of like the thing. That's why I'm like, they need to have a conversation. I'm not saying Molly's wrong to be mad. I'm like, it's like, I guess, like, it's wrong where she is. And it's like, one, here's the deal. The thing that got me was that, what's really funny about this whole situation? If Vincent Staples' manager had not walked up to Andrew, she wouldn't even know about any of this because he wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, so why are you not mad at Andrew? Or why didn't he just? I was like, why didn't you just say anything?
Mad at Andrew? Like, I don't understand.
But why wouldn't
that's his job?
It's not his job to get. It's not his job to do Issa a favor. It's not his job to do.
No, but I'm saying like,
hold on. Technically, he was doing Nathan a favor.
That's
exactly,
fine.
and that's what I feel like it was too. Like, it was more about Andrew helping his friend out who needed to do a favor for a girl that he liked and used to fuck with, more so than Andrew really doing the favor for Issa kind of thing. Like, I feel like that's really what it was more about. And I don't know why Molly couldn't have seen it. Like, oh, Nathan's just using you to try to get some pussy. Okay, that's fine, whatever. And blow it off like that. Versus, no, Issa is this conniving ass, like, evil genius who's always trying to do some shit. She literally said, you stabbed me in the back. Molly, what the fuck are you talking about?
And
it was like, I'm like, that's a bit much. That's a bit much.
We've never seen Issa do that, like to that, like throughout the 4 seasons. So it all came out of nowhere. Like the stuff that she was like, I knew you've been a shady ass bitch, and I was like, When?
No, she hasn't.
When has she been shady
I
towards
mean,
you?
you
Yeah,
perform
she kind of
fucking
has,
open
but
mic
okay.
about my broken pussy.
We started. Yeah.
Did she ever?
So
Okay, so about the broken
yes,
pussy,
she
because I
did.
forgot. Did she said
She
Molly's name on the stage?
No,
no,
but
but
Molly, no,
everybody
they had a
knew it was about her. She knew it. That's why she was running around trying to get rid of it. She tried. That's why Daniel had to help her. So I'm like, so the thing when she said shady, I'm like, she ain't wrong here because she has done some shady stuff, not particularly to Molly per se, but she has done some shady stuff. And this thing with the block party, she did kind of act selfish because quiet as it kept, she could have went to Nathan originally, but she went to Molly first. Let me finish.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes,
That's not
ma'am.
talking. She wouldn't have asked if she had just went right to Nathan. If they were cool, this would have been fine. She went to Molly because Molly is her friend, and that is her best friend, and she didn't think it would be an issue, even though it's like she's so myopic with her vision of, yeah, I know I'm probably not being a really good friend here, or I'm not, I know we off, but I gotta put this on back burner because I gotta get this shit done. And then Condola got like ghosted her. The person that's literally supposed to be helping her. I'm like, you got all this fire for Molly, but Condola dropped your ass a month before the goddamn block party to be helping you, and you ain't do shit. The person you should be cussing out is Condola. But okay.
Yeah, but Issa was trying to be an adult and not do that shit
And
at
I
her
can
block
see
party.
that.
Like, you don't know, like Issa might have said some shit to Condola if they met up outside the block party, but
I don't think she would have.
But Issa's at her block party. And when Molly came up to talk to Issa was not at seeing red in the beginning of that conversation. She got to
and
that
also
level.
too, it's a different relationship. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's a different relationship. It's people that are close to you can bring shit out of you that other people can because you have all this built up history. You know what I mean? Like I feel like maybe Condola is somebody I just met. She's the girlfriend of my ex-boyfriend. That shit was bound to probably get dicey. But Molly is my girl. Like I say, this is the person that knows the most about me. And that's the problem with close relationships because you start...
Because it's going to hurt worse coming from
you hold
her.
people in such high regard. Yeah, and you hold people in such high regard, but your actions don't always match your feelings because you make a lot of assumptions like, well, this is my girl, this is my sister, so I ain't got to fix shit with her. Bitch, help me with my event. You know what I mean? Versus sitting down and saying, look, I love you, sis. I know we on a rocky road right now. What the fuck is up? They never gave each other that room. And like I said, and I blame Issa for that. Issa didn't go have a conversation on Thanksgiving. She probably should have figured out how to have that conversation.
Because the one who was saying, I don't even fuck with Molly, she said that the night before her event. And when as soon as she saw Molly, what'd she say? Oh, I didn't even think you was going to be here. What?
Did she say that?
So what we talking about? Yes, she did. Brandon. I've been watching this video. I was, oh no. As soon as she saw my, they're like, hey, she gave her a half-ass hug. Oh, I didn't even think you was going to be here.
Good for you.
Like, of course I'd be. And it was like, of course, I'm your best friend. And it was just like, they looked at each other like, awkward. I'm like, oh, are we best friends? You telling Nathan the night before that I don't even fuck with Molly. That's why I'm like, us saying that Andrew didn't know, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. If you could say it to Nathan, who you barely talk to, who you barely seen in the last few months, you can tell him that I'm not even fucking with my best friend. You, really? You're not? You telling Nathan this? Why are you telling Nathan this?
She's been dying to get it out. She ain't really tell nobody. And she been dying to talk. Because she ain't tell Tiffany or Kelly either. She didn't really tell Amal. Because when she was talking to her brother at Thanksgiving, she was just like, yeah, me and Molly been off recently. But she wasn't like at the point where she was like, I don't fuck with her no more. It was just like, we've been off recently.
But that was back at Thanksgiving though.
Yeah,
this is now the night. This is the night before the block party. She's like, I don't even fuck with her. I'm like, wow, okay, how do we get here?
I just think I don't know how to defend Molly with this in any way.
I'm not saying it's a defense. It's like, now I'm not saying defend Molly because one, she's wrong to do this at her event. But I don't think her feelings with it's so much worse because they're best friends. So anything that Issa said to her and anything that Molly said to her, it's going to hurt 10 times worse. And then Molly is totally wrong in this situation because you're doing it here.
Well,
because I think her feeling.
I don't think Molly's wrong to be mad at Issa at all. I think you're
right.
Yeah.
No, it's like, so she had like pulled her aside, like, better yet, she should have been like, she should have just honestly, if this was me, I would have just left. I think I may not have said goodbye to Issa. I would have just left. I'm like, let's get out of here. I gotta go. I'm so mad. I'm like, and he'd be like, why? Right. I would have just left. I think she's wrong to approach her there, but I think her feelings are very valid because it did feel like you went like around her because you would have asked Nathan if Molly had said yes. If Molly had said yes, you would not have even had reached out to Nathan because you would have no need. So when she was saying that you use people, I'm like, she ain't wrong. She's not talking about you using me. She's talking about all the dudes that you use because she used Daniel too.
Well, she said me too. She said you used Nathan, you used Andrew, you used me. Who's next? My thing is, I think Molly had very good reasons to be upset with Issa before this because of all the shit Issa's done. I just don't see how this, like, if you're like, despite how mad you are at somebody, like, this is obviously like something that was like very important to her. And so the fact that you would say, like, she basically centered herself in this. She said, you went around me. And I was just like, well, I wouldn't have to go around you if you would have just done it. And
exactly.
And
if you just
like,
did
well,
this
I was
for
setting
me.
a boundary. And to me, I'm just like, there shouldn't be any boundary to the point that you can't help your best friend with something this important. If it was something small, like, hey, tell Andrew to get me some tickets to the Vince Staples concert. Yeah, I'm not going to fucking ask Andrew to get you tickets when I'm not fucking with you right now like that.
But getting tickets is kind of smaller than getting an event.
No, that's my
point.
I'm
saying like
that's my point. It's if she gets the tickets or not, Issa's life ain't going to change. But if Issa fucking doesn't get a headliner, this whole block party goes to shit. And the biggest professional.
But how is that Molly's fault? That's not Molly's fault.
It's not the point that it's not Molly's fault. It's the point that Molly could have helped, and she
but then it would turn
not to.
And then felt some type of way when Issa got it done anyway.
And she purposely chose not to try to help. She was like sabotaging the event essentially at that point.
Condola's the one that sabotages the event.
Condola
I'm like, nope.
And then you had someone to try to help you, and you thought your best friend, no matter what you're going through, would come through for you. And your best friend goes, you know what? No, fuck that. I'm not gonna do it.
She was like, one too many favors, bitch. Yeah,
and that's a killer. And you want to know why? Because it's like you can't keep treating someone who is perceiving that you're treating them like shit. You can't expect them to help you.
But you just
and it's like
that's not
okay. That's not okay. You can't just keep, especially when you know there's a problem. But I can see if you didn't know. If she didn't know that Molly had an issue with her, this would be totally different. You know there's something wrong with y'all too, and you're like, I don't care, but I need you to do this. How could you not help me? I'm like,
because I feel like
you don't.
I feel like you're talking as if they're just like friends. Like they're just, that's my friend.
No, I'm talking like she is a best friend. I'm not talking like Issa's talking to Tiffany.
I can never picture myself doing that to my best friend, no matter the circumstance, unless it was something like outrageous, like my best friend slept with my
wife. You gotta
wife
disrespect my
like
girl
that.
in front of me. You gotta do something. Yeah,
like
you gotta
something terrible, like something really terrible. Would have to be to get me to the point that something this big,
in that moment,
I wouldn't come through
So
for them.
Can we also point out the fact that nobody thought that Issa was serious about this? None of her friends thought that. None of them. They all said, I didn't think you could do this. You want to know why? Because Issa been a flighty ass the whole damn season. The whole damn series. They all were like, yeah, sure.
They
like,
didn't think
yeah,
she
sure,
could
you're going to
pull
do
it
this block
off.
party.
But they didn't think she could pull it off.
They also didn't think she would stick to it either.
Yeah, but at the point when Issa called Molly, she knew that everything was set up, except that her headliner fell out at that point.
And then she actually tried to help her. She's a whole ass lawyer. And she's like, wait a minute, did you have a contract with him?
Right.
Why are you talking to a lawyer? And she's like, girl, I don't want to talk about, can you just help me, please?
But I also think that was Condola's part as well. I also thought, you was on that last week. I think that was Condola's part too.
This.
But you could also feel like that's kind of condescending, because Molly was asking like, "Did you miss a payment?" And Issa's like, "No, bitch, I didn't miss a payment. If I missed a payment, I would have." Because Issa said,
understood why he pulled out. Yeah.
Molly was like, "Why did he pull out? Did you miss?" Like Issa's like, "I don't know why he pulled out." And then Molly was like, "Did you miss a payment?" And she's like, "No. I've made all the payments, and the next one's scheduled on this date."
But she also acted like she didn't know either. It was just kind of like, because she wasn't the one handling it.
And she was like, "Did you do anything to break the contract?" Issa was like, "No," because at that point, Issa is frustrated, and she was dismissing Molly. Don't get me wrong, from the beginning. But at that point, she's like, "Don't condescend me, asking me shit." Like if I missed,
But I think she was. I don't think she was being condescending. I think she was asking her legal questions because somebody as big as School Board Q, it's like the littlest thing will set them off. And it's like if you know somebody who's an actual lawyer, you're like, wait a minute. Then if you've been giving him money, we can find out how to get your money back. Because it's like if you didn't do anything wrong, he shouldn't have been pulling out. Wait,
I agree.
Why is he pulling out?
I agree, but Issa is saying my money is
But
one thing.
This is a friend call. This wasn't a lawyer call.
This
is a friend call.
Issa is saying my money is one thing, but getting my money back ain't got shit to do with a headliner being at my event. Like it's because this was like a week before, and so she's basically like, it's a week out. I just printed these fucking flyers and my headliner dropped off. Yes, we can talk about this later, and I can sue Schoolboy Q and get my money back that I've paid him. But that ain't got shit to do with a headliner showing up for this block party. And at the end of the day, I get all the money back. But if I don't have a headliner, this shit is dead. And I think in her mind, she's just like, obviously this is a big fucking deal, and you dropped the ball in the biggest of deals in my life. And so I think Molly, if that didn't happen, I think Molly had a bunch of, and she still does have a bunch of legitimate points to talk to Issa about what they went through. But I think this thing in particular is like, I don't know how Issa and Molly come back from this. Like, that's what I was going to ask all of you next. Like, do you see them coming back from this? Go ahead, Lauren.
No, I don't. And I hope that that's where that goes. Like, I hope that they don't try to rush and try to, like, mend fences before the season is over. Even if, it's on a cliffhanger and they eventually circle back to each other, I think it's just really important to show that, first of all, even when you love people, there are boundaries that can get crossed. And sometimes when you cross certain boundaries, there's just no coming back from that. And then also, too, history doesn't replace like growth in a healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are friends. They have been friends, but maybe it is time to go your separate ways or whatever. Like, everybody is not meant to be with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And it just might be an example of that.
Yeah. Because sometimes you outgrow people. Because I think the part that really hurts watching this fight was that they threw each other's insecurities in each other's faces. And it was just like, oh God. Because the thing about it is like, when you're a best friend, you hold a lot of shit that other people would just be like, oh, fuck that bitch. I don't like it. So they held a lot of that on because they're like, okay, gloves are off. I'm tired of acting like I don't see this shit. I see it. Because it just hurts to watch. And it was just like, the bad part about it is I think they can, but it's like this kind of shit. It's like, can they be friends again? Yes. Will it be the same? Absolutely not.
Because it all turned. Because in the middle of this, Issa says to Molly, why are you doing this now at my event? And then Tiffany walks up and says, guys, you don't have to do this. Like, she's like, you guys are friends. You don't have to do this now. And then
we were just having fun.
And then Molly, this is when it escalated. Because before that, they were talking, but like Issa was kind of calm before this. And then
Molly came up to her like on 10.
Yeah,
it was like
Molly,
it would.
Issa was responding. She was obviously agitated, but she was still relatively calm. And then Issa goes, "Why are you doing this now at my event?" And Tiffany comes up and says, "You guys don't have to do this. Y'all are friends." And then immediately after that, Molly says, I was just doing the wobble with this shady ass bitch, and you stabbed me in the back. And then that's when the shit escalated right there. Like
and she said stab her in the back, and I was like, okay, I think that's a little extreme. Stabbing in the back is
that
nice.
Shit escalated at that point, and then that's when, like Stephanie said, they started talking about each other's insecurities. Issa says, like, we don't have time for your drama. You keep starting shit and making up problems and focusing on shit I need to fix when you need to fix yourself. And
it was like, wait a minute, man. Your block party was drama. Why are you saying my girl?
And then Molly said,
I wish Molly had not quit therapy. I'm like, girl, go back to therapy because
That's what I was thinking right there. That therapy shit is real.
Nobody has
like, y'all need.
You. She said, you need to figure out your own shit and stop using people. You use Nathan, Andrew, and me. Who's next?
And that's the bad part. Molly wasn't wrong. It's true. Because if she didn't need Nathan for something, she wouldn't have reached out to him.
And then Andrew said, let's not do this here. And the one thing I want to say is, like, I've been in a public place where I've seen like two friends arguing, and it's so awkward. It's like so awkward.
It is.
It's awkward for everybody, and that was the thing too, Molly. Like, it's not just that you coming at Issa's head, at this event. You're putting everybody else in the middle of it. And that's why I say that was a little selfish too, because now Tiffany's involved, now Kelly's involved, now Andrew's in it, now he's feeling bad, now Nathan is, in it.
And
Through
now they got to take
association, like,
sides. Well, you're gonna expect them to
and
take
and,
sides.
and that's the thing, and that's when everybody has to take sides because people are gonna naturally take sides, and that's why I'm always of the thing. Like, I try not to put people in a position and take sides. I just make the decision for you. Like, I won't fuck with the whole crew because I don't want to be in the middle of that. But that's just a really unfair situation to put everybody in.
Yeah, it's like that's it, because it kind of happened when Tiffany and Kelly were at odds too, and they were kind of like, okay, whose side do we take? Because we don't ever have seen right, and it was like it didn't really seem like they actually worked that out. It was like we don't know if they actually worked that out because it seemed like Kelly was like, no, fuck her forever,
and the baby,
and they kind of and the baby, right? And so it was kind of like, did they ever work that out? So I think it's going to be interesting to watch how Kelly and Tiffany try to help them work that out, because I'm pretty sure they probably will go, this is how me and Kelly got over it, or this is how me and Tiffany got over it, or are still working it out. I don't know, but it's like, man, they were going scorched earth on each other, and I was like, boy.
Yeah, it was bad. So I don't like I was saying, I don't know how. Maybe they can come back from this if they have a deep conversation, but like, I don't think it's going to be the same. Here's the thing: if they would have had this same if Molly would have had this same blow up, but it was like in private, I think they could come back. But I don't know how you come back from doing that shit at my event.
Yeah, and then you did it in front of everybody.
Everybody else. You involved everybody else now.
So Steph, y'all good? If this happens to you at your event, you good? Are y'all done?
Who?
You and your best friend. You and your best friend. This happened to y'all. You done?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think Molly and Issa have been friends as long as my best friend. I've been best friends with my friend damn near more than half my life. So I honestly don't think it would happen, but I don't think we will be over, but we would have to have a conversation. So here's the thing. I'll be very transparent. I have had me and my best friend have a relationship where I knew we were off, and we sat in a restaurant and I pulled her up and like, I really need to talk to you about this. And we sat and we talked about it. But that's why when I look at this, I can't go 100%. Someone did this. I'm like, no, this is a relationship. Both of y'all are in this, and both of y'all need to fix it. So it's like, I don't know. Watching Molly and Issa fight has me triggered because I'm like, so I have a best friend, and we have had our outs, and we've had our time when we were off, but we also, it takes more one person to say, hey, okay, we're going to sit down and talk this out. And I happened to be the person that I was like, I value this relationship a lot. And so I'm like, we're going to fix this. Because a lot of stuff don't get fixed if you just don't say anything. A lot of stuff goes unsaid, and that's not healthy. It's like, you need to actually just talk about this. So just going, I'll talk about it later, you're never going to fix anything. So I think if you value the relationship, you can fix it, but it's going to take work. And I don't know if either one of them are going to let their ego do the work.
Lauren, what about you?
That's the problem.
Like I said, I've been through a similar thing, and we just went our separate ways. And honestly, it's been a few years since it happened. Even my husband was asking me like, so you don't think there's just no hope for reconciliation? And I was like, no, like I've lived this long without her. And we, like I said, we knew each other as children growing up. We were very close, but we got to a point and it escalated way too far. And I was like, I can't devote that type of energy to a relationship like that. Like, not like that. Like, we're not, I'm the only one that's had children. I've had a child. I've been a mom since we were 19. I just unfortunately don't have like enough energy to coddle you in that way. And the thing is, it's not that she was 100% wrong. I was too. But where I am in my life, I just was like, we see, like, the funniest thing, she liked one of my brother's Instagram posts that he had like posted about me to acknowledge me for something. And we're not friends on any social media, but I saw her thing on there and she had liked it. And I saw one of her siblings somewhere, and we hugged and chopped it up. And me and this girl have not talked in years. So it's so weird because our families are so like close or whatever, and it's an awkward situation, but we haven't seen each other. And that's the thing. I don't know what I would say. Like, I don't even know how do you come back from that? Like, last thing we said is just like, bitch, fuck you, not bitch, fuck you. And it's just like, okay, then, like, well, fuck you, and I don't know. And the thing is, I don't wish anything bad. Like, I want her to be happy in life. I want her to get married and have babies and conquer the world. I just don't want to be a part of the ride with you anymore.
Yeah.
Right. That's how I feel because, like, to me, all the stuff that happened before this, and even this, like, to me, could have been handled, and I think they could have got over it. But, like, I don't know how, like, this is where I do blame Molly in this one particular thing, not anything else. I don't know how Issa gets past, like, your best friend just purposely letting you down, like, in this situation. Like, like, I just don't know how I could get past that. Like, anything else, like, I could admit where I was wrong, where I could argue with you when I think I was right, or we could discuss it and we could come back for it. But I don't know how you apologize if you're supposed to be my closest friend in the world, and at my biggest time of need, you purposely let me down because we were going through some shit. Like, I don't know how, me personally, I don't know how I can get past that part.
Because that hurts the most. You got to stay with that. Yeah.
But and you guys are right. And I think it boils down to I can say yes 75 times. You'll only focus on that one time I tell you no.
Yes, except this one
and
time
I know it, and that was
the biggest time. The biggest.
I don't know if it's the biggest. It's big, but I don't know if it's the biggest.
Well, yeah, to an extent.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, as of right now, it might be the biggest.
We've seen in the show, this was it. This is the biggest ask of her.
And I think it's mostly because she did it by herself. And any other time she asked Molly for something, it was like she was doing it for her other job, or she was doing it like because Lawrence and Daniel were at the same event. And she ran interference. Not that Issa asked her to do that. She just did it.
Yeah, she just did that. And honestly, that's kind of what happens when you're in a friendship with someone, when one part of the friendship or relationship is more successful than the other. It's going to be an imbalance in favors. But that, to me, I wouldn't jump to using at that point. Like, maybe that's just how I think. But, like, if you're in a friendship or relationship with someone and one part of that is way more successful financially, professionally than the other, chances
you don't call it using them.
Chances are the lesser successful person is going to ask for more favors professionally or monetarily than the person that's more successful, because that's just the nature of it. And so the idea of that, to me, it does not jump to using. But to be fair, the last time they talked, Issa was very dismissive of Molly. And so that part I get. But at the end of the day, to me, if Devin was dismissive of me, but I could tell that this was like this big thing that he had to do, I would help him out. And then afterwards, I'd be like, hey, man, listen, I helped you out because you're my brother and I'm always help you out. But I don't like how you did that shit. And this is why.
Right.
And I feel like that's how you have that conversation.
Yeah, but it's like I'm the same way. So it's kind of like we could be like off, and I would still help her. Like it wouldn't even be like.
When you love somebody, you should be able to interpret the words from a place of love. Like, that wasn't cool, but we'll be okay.
Right. And to me, from Issa's perspective, to me, it's like, were we ever really that close? If you could just easily dismiss me, like just easily not help me like that for something is this serious, were we ever that close? So I don't know, because if you watch the previews, because we're about to get out of here, but if you watch the previews, they're talking about like who's gonna call who first in the previews. So
does that matter? Do you think that matters though?
Oh, it definitely matters because it should be Molly. It definitely should be Molly.
Yeah, it should be Molly.
It should be Molly that calls.
They both have a lot to talk about.
It's about leverage too, but it's about leverage. Yeah,
it's that at this point, it's not even about leverage. It's like, oh no, baby, you acted a whole ass at that event, because it wasn't just, now you made it bigger than I'm really mad at Issa and she has been taking me for granted for X amount of time. However, she said, no, baby, she need to come and say, I'm sorry first. If you can go over to Andrew, who you barely know, which wine, and apologize, then you can do this with Issa. So it need to be Molly.
Yeah. And that's the thing too that I feel like it's so real in a relation in like friendships versus like romantic relationships.
Mhm.
It seems like, and I've even been guilty of this. We have so much more grace for our partners, and I'm saying this maybe
Mhm.
from like a
Mm-hmm.
woman to male perspective, maybe not so much, but we have so much more grace and patience for our partners. Like I know women who have literally been dogged out, been cheated on,
Mhm.
and had side babies on,
And take
but
that
they
nigga right on
homegirl
back.
broke their flat iron. Take that nigga
Oh,
right back. They homegirl broke their flat iron, and them bitches ain't talked in a decade. Like,
right. Like, why you ain't
damn,
talk to
you know what I
her?
mean? So that's
She been using my Netflix password and fuck her. It's like, wait a minute, don't your boyfriend got like 2 other babies? What that got to do with
That is
anything?
that
definitely a
nigga had a
gender
set of
thing.
twins on you last summer,
It's
bitch.
definitely a gender thing.
That's definitely gender because it's the
It
opposite
is
with men.
because
Men,
women are socialized different. We're socialized to
yes,
need men and to drop our
And
friends when
also
we get in
accept
relationships.
any old thing.
Accept anything. I had a homegirl that was just like, yeah, I don't know why my friends expect me to maintain the same relationship with them now that I'm married. And I'm like, because when that nigga cheat on you and you left by yourself, them hoes is gonna be the
Mhm.
ones
You got
to
that
be packing your
sisterhood.
shit up.
Right.
and also
Right.
it's the opposite with men because men are quick to throw away like a woman that
A
cheats on
relationship
them.
like, oh,
Exactly.
But
Over
and they're
a
not
friendship.
and they're not conditioned to do that either. It's like, oh, she cheat, well, fuck her, dump her ass.
Right.
But if it's a woman saying a man cheated, oh, well, honey, you have to understand why.
Men
I
just
mean,
gonna
look
be
the reason
men,
why. What the
girl.
fuck you mean?
That is true. Man will be man. That's what they say.
Right. Boys will be boys. I mean, do you cook? Like, bitch, I got your chicken
Damn.
Alfredo
You know
right
the
up your
funny thing
nose.
about that statement to me is like not to get too deep, but like scientifically, like people in general are just like promiscuous in a way. So it's funny how in like in the culture it's assigned to men. Like men's minds wander and they look for the other. And I'm like, everyone's minds wanders. It's just that men choose to act on it more often in general, not in every case, obviously, than women do. And it's more accepted. It's like a part of their person, like it's just like a part of a male structure. Like, oh, men are gonna be wandering eyes and look and want to do other things. That's just part of being a man. You have to fight that. And then for women, it's like oh no, women are naturally like they don't want to look. And I'm like,
Monogamous. And that's
not how
a
it works.
whole lie. We're just slut shamed so bad to the point where we enforce self control on ourselves because everybody, diminishes a piece of your soul or something. So yeah, I feel like if it wasn't the same parameters, it'd be a lot of bitches out here getting side dick.
Yep.
And I mean, that's what we're moving into an age of that now where like, women are, they've owned that power that they can do what the fuck a man does.
I mean, is it better than it was? Yes, but that's a low bar.
No, yeah, way better than it was. Yeah.
It's not anywhere near what men benefit of the doubt they get.
Oh no,
It's
no.
not even close. Is it better?
Dwayne Wade and
Yes.
Gabrielle Union situation, if reversed, nobody would support that.
Imagine
absolutely.
If she had a baby on the
Absolutely
break,
not.
and I'm doing the quotation fingers.
Imagine if Beyonce cheated on Jay-Z with a white man.
Damn. We would not. Y'all would not be calling her the queen right now. Y'all would not be doing that shit.
Excuse me. They tried to do that to Serena when she got with Alexis.
I would be calling her queen, but
I'd be like, queen. I'm like, anybody, literally anybody. Because when Serena got with Alexis, they're like, how's she just going to abandon us? I'm like, y'all were calling her
Black men
mannish
calling her a
and
gorilla
masculine
for
a
5
long
years.
time. Right. It's like
She gave way too many niggas chances. She gave niggas chances. I mean, they like she went.
It was like
the
they were
first
calling her
brand she was with was a white.
until Jamie Foxx was like, but did y'all see that ass though? All of a sudden, it was like this little light switch. I'm like, she's had the same body for God knows how long. But Jamie Foxx say, ooh, I like the man that don't be with black women. But okay, and now he said something, y'all like, oh, that's right, Jamie like her. I'm like, Jamie don't like black women. What y'all doing?
No, yeah, that's true. He doesn't.
it was like, wait a minute.
I also think it's also this other thing that like he was super rich too. It all goes.
So that circle, because that environment.
They did the same thing to Eve too, with that white man.
Yeah,
but I feel like more people didn't care about Eve though, because they were like, well,
she was gone for a while.
It was just kind of more obscure. Yeah, she wasn't in the spotlight as much, but people still shit on her though. They will. They'll still shit on her. Like y'all, she was with Stevie J, who basically
God, it's like,
groomed her as a teenager
y'all.
and released a sex tape of her. She deserves to go get with her white king and be a stepmama to his white children.
Yeah, because it's like certain black people, and this actually does go to both genders, that like people don't get that upset with. Like, for example, like if Steph Curry was dating a white woman, I don't think anyone would care because they would expect that shit.
Cheat?
No.
Steph Curry cheat?
It's an expectation.
Yeah, they would expect that shit. They'd be like, "Oh, Steph Curry dates
Not
a
that
white
we
man.
know of.
That's the white woman. That's
Oh,
that's
'cause
fine." But like,
I
I feel
saw
like
it
if
on
LeBron
Netflix.
was dating a white woman, people would feel some type of way.
They tried to get LeBron. They tried to get him.
Well, LeBron loves white women. He cheats with white women all the time. It's just he's married to a black queen, so we kind of let him slide.
Oh,
You have to.
He's a
It's like,
little
if
bit
he
more
was-
political.
if he was
He's a little bit
fucking-
more politically astute than Michael Jordan, so we give him, we give him his flowers.
oh.
And here's the thing: Michael Jordan left a black woman, and he went to a brown woman, I think.
Like, whatever. Yeah,
That's why
she's,
Russell
yeah.
Wilson is. That's why Russell Wilson is a real king, because he got his money and left a white woman and got with a black woman with a baby already.
Yeah.
Like that put the city girls up by 1,000.
Yo,
Yeah, Russell Wilson should be up there on the black woman list.
Oh, he's the king. He's the king.
Oh, we love him. Black men don't like him because they like Future's music.
I like
Oh, yeah,
Russell.
yeah,
I just
I mean,
think he's corny. But listen, sometimes
I think he's corny for
I love corny love. It's like I love.
I used to
That's
think
so
he was
cute.
corny, but I don't think he's corny. Future is actually corny. Like Future got poor dick management. He 37 years old, acting like he's 23.
Future's terrible.
that when you think about it, that nigga's actually kind of corny.
Oh, he's
like
super
you a lick. Like you are a
Future
walking
is a
lick. You are not a pimp.
I guess
Future is a goddamn
corny's
clown.
the wrong
Okay.
word. Russell Wilson's kind of a dork. Like even before he got with
Oh,
Sierra,
he's definitely a dork.
He's dorky. Yeah, he's dorky. He's dorky. And
But I
some
know
of
he's
that
cool
too,
in person though.
I feel like some
with
of that.
Sierra, I know he's cool.
I feel like some of that is fake. I feel like some of that dorkiness is his money image. That's his pay. Because when he talks on IG Live and stuff, the nigga be jumping out. Like when he with Sierra and stuff, the nigga be sliding, be slipping and sliding out. He just knows how to keep his coins together.
They had that video late at night. He had on this big ass chain with fucking diamonds on, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm with my girl." Like she's braiding his hair and shit. Like it was so different to see that nigga in that light. And then when you hear him in like press conferences, he's like super corny, like QB, like robot guy. It's so weird.
What?
That nigga keeping them coins. I was like, nah, he just, I mean, yeah.
All right, so I got 2 questions about the show for next week before we get out of here. 3 questions, but the first one we already asked is who calls who first. The second question is, do you think Tiffany and Kelly get caught up in the crosshairs of this?
Oh, sorry.
I think Tiffany and Steph got some other shit going on because I feel like Steph is real. Tiffany and Kelly. I'm sorry. I feel like Kelly's stepping up where Tiffany's falling off right now. So I think they got a whole different dynamic so they won't even get caught up in this. Because I think Kelly is definitely feeling like the best friend that has to step up when her friend is falling off the fucking cliff and going through some real shit.
What do you think, Steph?
I'm sorry. What part? What question are you asking me again?
Do you think Tiffany and Kelly get caught up in this?
Oh, absolutely. Because Issa and Molly. Sorry. Dang it. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. So I think so because Issa and Molly kind of got in the crosshairs between Tiffany and Kelly. So probably, but I feel like it's super weird that they're supposed to be like this friend group, but sometimes when it comes to the inner working, it seems so surface, and I'm not exactly sure why. It's weird to be like deep and surface at the same time.
What about you, Lauren?
Is it deep though? Like, is it deep?
That's what I'm saying. But it's so weird to watch
come back
them.
to me.
It's like
come back to me on that.
It's like you're watching two sets of best friends who are friends with each other, but it don't. Because even when at the beginning of the season, when Issa was like asking Kelly, "Do you know?" So she's like, "What you talking about?" And then Molly asked Tiffany, she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "What? Are y'all all in the same room?"
And then the last question is this is kind of a two-part question. Do you think Nathan coming through for Issa leads to something between those two?
She should have gave him some mad pussy that night. Like she should have just worked her frustrations
She
out
better
on him.
break his hip.
But
She
I
better
don't
break
think
his hip.
But I don't. I don't see it going
I don't think
nowhere
they got it no
beyond
more.
that. I don't know why.
Right.
It just. I just don't see that chemistry between them, and I feel like that's not because they don't have chemistry as actors, because that's something that she's trying to portray, through Issa. Like they're just. I really feel like I don't know. I'm waiting on the Lawrence shit to drop. That's the shoe that I'm waiting on to drop. I'm waiting on the Lawrence.
Because I thought it
Lawrence
was
shit
interesting that he didn't even come. I was like, how interesting that you didn't even come.
That nigga doing this, Lawrence doing this. He trying to get his life together and shit.
He probably gonna say he didn't want to come to see Condola because he thought Condola was
Yep.
involved. So that was
and it'd be weird and shit.
That's the second part of the question. What do you think happens next with the Condola, Issa, Lawrence triangle? Like, do you think Condola's just gone for the rest of the season? We just act like she don't exist.
I feel like it. That sure was kind of like almost like an ending. It was almost like I can't find the word I'm trying to say, but it was closure. I feel like that sure was like, yeah, sure, we'll see each other around, because no, the fuck we not.
All right.
It'll probably be some shit around the baby where Lawrence and Issa talk, and then they'll probably like get the whole Condola shit out the way, and then they'll be like back on the road to
So you think Lawrence tells
back
Issa
together.
we broke up because I'm still in love with you? I feel like that's how that should be the cliffhanger. Like that should be the last conversation of the last episode, because that would be good.
Yeah, that would be good. I'd like to see that.
All right, so that episode that was a deep episode. Thank you all for doing this with me. I love talking to y'all about this, and talking to y'all in general, but especially about this show, because it's so interesting. But before we get out of here, Stephanie, are you still on hiatus for the Mocha Minutes podcast?
I am. I'm still a freelance auntie guest for anybody who wants a guest on their podcast. But yes, I'm on hiatus.
And Lauren,
Stephanie, we gotta reach out. We're gonna bring y'all on Two Woke Girls. We're gonna have Woke Girl Wednesday tomorrow, where we'll finally drop that episode.
Yay, new episodes! I can't wait.
And then we'll record again, and let's see if we can do like a group thing and just be on there talking shit. Because that's all we've been kind of doing, is just really talking shit.
Gabby had a birthday. Shout out to Gabby.
Yeah, I feel, and I'm so sad. Like I really wanted to like be turning up and doing some bald headed hoe shit with her for her birthday. So
come on, bald headed hoe shit.
I'm not happy right now.
Hold on, do you like?
But her mom and her friends came through.
Are you a Beat King fan?
Yeah. You get enough crown in me. Yeah.
Listen, that nigga is wild as shit. You gotta follow that
he's
nigga.
He's so ignorant, but he's so good for the club. Like he is so good but he is 100% ignorant. Like
not 100%.
He can't help it. 110 maybe.
You gotta follow him on Instagram, Stephanie. He's funny as shit. I think
who is it?
Godzilla or something.
Beats King.
Yeah,
he makes a lot of club, like Houston club music, just ass shaking music with no substance at
all. Club
Godzilla, but Club Godzilla.
He's wild.
It's great. It's good workout music too. All
right, so we got some Beat King references. We talked about Jill Scott and Erykah Badu. We talked about Insecure. We got a lot of shit. We talked about Tip Drill. This episode went all over the place. So thank everybody for listening.
Oh, goodness.
Make sure you subscribe to the Mocha Minutes podcast. It's on all the places you get your podcasts at. The same thing with the Two Woke Girls podcast. Devin and I and Mike will be back sometime later this week to talk some more stuff. There's a Batman Telltale episode out, and we talked some other stuff too, some general stuff in the industry, but it was mostly focusing on Batman. And then I think next week sometime I had to talk to Stephanie and Charmaine and Devin, but we're supposed to be doing a retro review again soon of Tropic Thunder, which is one of my favorite movies.
Oh my gosh, I love that fucking movie. Yeah. That is. I love that. That's really what got me.
Who do you like better,
Robert Downey
Jr. or Tom Cruise?
Robert Downey Jr. So what was so funny was I watched that whole movie and didn't realize that was Tom Cruise to the end. Literally did not realize it. That nigga played the fuck out of Les Grossman. But I love Robert Downey Jr. because that nigga was so ignorant in that movie. He was so
It was so
fucking
good.
ignorant.
It was so
Kirk
good.
Lazarus was ignorant as shit. Even Matthew McConaughey. Like when Matthew McConaughey couldn't decide if he was gonna save his friend over a plane, I was like, this nigga is trash.
So
Trash.
best,
That
bro.
movie is
Yo,
excellent. Like I really thought, Brandon T. Jackson was gonna be able to like take off from that.
He's crazy now. Like, did you see the nigga in the woods on Instagram? That nigga was mad.
Aw, I hate that.
He was big
But
mad
no,
and crazy in the
Tropic
woods.
Thunder is like a classic.
It's so
movie.
good.
Oh,
Booty
and
juice?
did y'all? Huh?
Get that
That's
booty juice?
booty sweat. Booty sweat. Booty
Yeah.
sweat. Like Ben Stiller is always like the least funny person in a movie to me, and he even tickled me a little bit, but he's always my least favorite person. Robert Downey Jr. is just that nigga. Like crack cocaine or whatever drugs that nigga was on, really just put that nigga.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Like that nigga needed that. He needed that drug.
It's a journey.
Like,
You gotta take the
life.
journey.
It's a journey.
Right.
He would not. He couldn't have gave us Iron Man. He couldn't have gave us the other niggas like the Houdini shit. He couldn't have gave us none of that without that crack.
Nope.
I believe it.
Iron Man without that. Yep.
He had to go through that. But that's my nigga. Like Kirk Lazarus. I know a sequel probably wouldn't have been good, but I really did want a sequel for a long time.
So yeah, we're gonna be doing that soon. So maybe I'll hit up Lauren to see if she can join us too for a retro review because I've been dying to review that and rewatch.
Where can I stream that? Where can I even stream it?
That's an excellent question. I don't know.
What?
Is it on Hulu?
Tropic Thunder?
Yeah.
Let me see if it's on Netflix. I don't know.
Because I want to watch that shit tonight.
That's so funny.
I'm supposed to
Let me
watch
see.
Red Sun tonight. Oh, and that Justice League Dark Apocalypse, that shit was so fucking fire. Oh my God. Me and James talked about that
It's
shit
really
for
good.
an hour.
What was it?
Justice League Dark Apocalypse. I love anytime Barry Allen fucks up a timeline for everybody, and so that just makes me happy anyway.
Yes, I agree.
I live for a Barry Allen fuck up. I do. Like you have
he stay fucking up.
great power, and you just doing bullshit with it for your mama.
All the fucking time he's doing that.
This is why Trump is president, though. This is why Trump is president because of Barry Allen. Like I just 100% believe it.
You a mess.
That nigga went back and saved his mama from Reverse Flash, and now we're gonna have to suffer forever. Like,
hey,
this is timeline.
I say run with that. I say we all run with that shit.
We're in Flashpoint right now.
This is Flashpoint. Batman has a gun. Now this is Flashpoint. All the shit hell breaking loose.
We're definitely in Flashpoint.
Like this is.
So I don't know, Lauren, because Tropic Thunder is not on Hulu or Netflix.
I'm
gonna find that shit.
I'll send it to everybody. And then the last thing
Please
is
do.
R.I.P. Jerry Stiller. Listen,
Yes. It's been a rough week.
Frank Costanza is one of the funniest people on television, funniest characters on television, and I love Jerry Stiller from Zoolander and Seinfeld. He's great. So he passed away. And
King of Queens.
Serenity Now.
Yeah,
Serenity Now. I used to hit that shit when people was making me mad for real, and they be like, "Lauren, stop saying that." I was like, "Nah, it's Serenity Now. Insanity later. Like I'm gonna kill y'all. Leave me alone."
Oh boy.
Jerry Stiller passed.
Shout out, yeah. R.I.P.
Betty.
It's been a rough
Betty
week.
Wright passed.
Betty Wright.
So R.I.P.
I don't know if anybody listens to the Scorpion show. It's a show on YouTube. I think they also now have a podcast. But Kevin's mom passed away. She was in the hospital for a couple weeks. Yeah.
This is 2020 has not been awesome.
I was like, oh, I was hoping she was going to come out of the hospital.
But thank you everyone for listening. We'll be back next week for episode 6.
Oh boy,
10 episodes this season, so not 8 like the first 3. So we only halfway through. So the second half is probably going to be very interesting. So we'll be back next week. Thank you everybody for listening, and talk to y'all later. Peace.